Welcome, everybody, to a rain-drenched Bryant Stadium in Bill Castle Field, but we're dry up here in the press box, at least for now. And Tim Conti, Fred Lopez again joining me here off to my left, your right, and we're excited for another Lakeland High School football game that we're about to get underway, but a little bit later than expected. Fred had a 7 o'clock kickoff, and now 7:30 is the time that we're hearing, as long as the old lightning bolts stay away. You know how that goes.
I do.
Yeah, they of course, zap everyone with that 30-minute rule. So if it's within a 10-mile radius, I believe, they have to kind of kick it out that 30 minutes. So we're eagerly anticipating that will not happen anymore and that we'll get this thing underway in just about 12, 13 minutes. So last week, though, we always like to kind of cap off. We didn't go. We weren't there, but it was on YouTube, and so we got to view a little bit of it. It was kind of a highly anticipated game against Manatee, not knowing what to expect. First regular season game, going away from Bryant Stadium to see how our kids were performed. What were some of your thoughts and impressions, Fred, about that game?
Well, there's a lot of history between the two teams, a big rivalry, and for many, many years, Manatee had our number. You know, we would have a good year against them every once in a while, but they're a perennial powerhouse. And so, you know, I was at the Booster Club meeting Monday night. Coach was giving his little review of the game, and some of the players, the defensive backs from Lakeland High School, were there, and they gave us. And I asked them after the meeting was over. Perfect. I said, "What'd you think of the Hurricanes?" And they said, "Well, they were really big." And some of the alumni was talking a little trash on the sidelines as the players were entering the field. And he goes, "But once we started hitting, the boys were telling me this, the DBs, because once we started hitting, we figured out we could play with them, and we felt pretty good.
We settled down a little bit.
That's it. We settled down." I said, "You more than settled down."
They settled down quick, as a matter of fact, and typical, kind of what we were expecting and hoping is just, you know, the strength, the power, the skill that we're talking about. Even the announcers for Manatee kind of knew in their gut pretty early that they were mismatched. It was a mismatch. We had them, and that they just wanted to learn some lessons, play well, make some good plays, and they admittedly didn't have a lot of them. You know, our defense played just as good as our offense did as well.
Well, Coach was again. I had a chance to talk to him Monday night after the game, and you know, I said something when we first opened up against Kissimmee. I said that we were talented, but we needed to execute and just continue working. And Coach said that he's very surprised so far here early on in the season how these guys they're not only good, but they're executing.
Yeah.
And Manatee, you know, it was 45-0. People are thinking, well, they must not be very good. They're a decent football team, folks. I mean, they're talented, and they thought they were going to be in a game. They found out real quick that they weren't. But Coach says that he's very surprised as to how the team is gelling early and how they're executing. And when you get the athleticism that we have, plus the early execution, you begin that's a lot of early confidence, which is good. And so tonight, not sure what's going to happen against the Pioneers, but we got good field conditions with our new field and how it drains. I think we should be in pretty good shape.
Yep. So something that it sounded like you were hearing as I'm hearing. I love, you know, we have a group of Dreadnought fans that always talk, and we kind of, hey, what's happening? And the consensus was that everyone thought the offense was a little bit ahead of their schedule on what they normally are. So you mentioned that gelling, and Coach Castle kind of confirmed that. Because our defense usually is fine. We're capable of doing that right off the bat. It takes, 2 or 3 games in for the offense, but they're already there. And so, that caught Manatee on surprise a little bit, I think, at their level.
Any coach will tell you early in the season the defense is usually ahead of the offense. Mm-hmm. And that's your main concern going into the game is, turnovers, fumbles, not being able to catch your passes, the running backs not knowing their lanes, not knowing how to read the offensive line. But so far, they look pretty sharp.
Yeah, so you mentioned 45-0 was the score, and oftentimes you can see where one player may have most of the touchdowns, but really a good team effort. We had Ryan Smith, the speedster, catch a great pass from Mason Martin, the quarterback, on a nice touchdown connection, and then no surprise with DeMarcus Bowman getting an 80-yarder. That's typical Debo, and just you could look at his highlight reel, which I was watching earlier today, and it looks the same. 80 yards.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of them.
Every game, every run it looks the same. He's chewing up yards or he's to the house, one or the other.
And we talked about that earlier. We like talking off camera as well, how he's just one of those players that gets better, likes to be fed the ball, likes to hit. He likes that contact.
That's right.
He's not afraid of it at all. I mean,
That's
even
right.
against St. Thomas last year, it seemed like as the game went along, he was punishing them more in the third and fourth quarter than he was early on. So he's that kind of talented player, and not like you want to go against on defense, but we love to have him surely on our side of the field. And Mason Martin again in for this week as the starter. What are your impressions of his early play in the last couple games?
I tell you, I've been very impressed. As the season has progressed, I know we're only 2 games into it, but my goodness, his role right now is to just not mess up, not to cause too many turnovers, you're looking for a younger guy like that to get in and just execute basic plays and put the ball in the hands of the athletes, and you hope he doesn't get nervous.
Yeah.
And so far, I think he's been doing a really, really good job. Very impressed with him so far.
Yeah, and again, he's that sneaky guy that, you'll be handoff, and then he'll just drop back, and
he can
his
throw.
arm will surprise you.
Mason can throw.
Yeah, so he can hit that deep route, the post route, whatever it takes. He's able to get it there, and so that's fun to watch and doing a good job. And you mentioned also the kicker's father, I think, came in, and that's a part of the game that you love, of course, and watch.
Absolutely.
And is an important part of the game. We forget about it, but Mr. Word doing a nice job so far.
He
this
is
season.
so far. I don't think he's missed a kick, and he's very impressive with kickoffs and punting, and it's where you're either the hero or the GOAT, right?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, in our case, I doubt he'll have a chance to be the GOAT with as good as offense is. But still, it's nice to know that you've got that kind of talent where you can make the confidence in the extra points or the short yardage field goals, and you can get the kickoff down the field. So. Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. And, I'm sitting here as we're talking to the national anthem.
You got it.
Yep. The color guard at the 40-yard line and the national anthem. The band is not here today or tonight. Probably one of those decisions thinking, hey, a little wet, a little soggy, maybe difficult to get everyone in their positions and a lot of equipment and things to do. So maybe just a decision they had. As we see the captains for the Dreadnaughts as the color guard passes right in front of them, we have number 6 on the field. This is Jalen Christian. Yep, you talked about him. Number 14, Andrew Proctor. Looks like number 19 there, Cletus Anglin. And, of course, number 3, Zay Roberson out there, 12th grade defensive back. So maybe some different names, some new names out there to do the coin toss as we see the Pioneers coming on the field.
Looks like their whole team.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Uh-oh.
Crossing in front of the Knots, maybe trying to make a little statement. Any little advantage they can get.
Well, they've got to make some noise, and you can't blame them, right? They're in hostile territory, and they're trying to pump themselves up a little bit. That's what they should be doing.
As the runway to victory is set, you can see the Pioneers in the north end zone. And they did it full tonight, even with the rain. So just to inform everybody, we had some heavy rains just tapering off here in the last 15, 20 minutes, but really concerned more with the lightning strikes that were in the area earlier. And the last one happened just around a little after 7 o'clock. They decided to clear things for this kickoff right around 7:30 tonight. And we're just almost on schedule, maybe a minute or two late, 7:29 mark right now, looking at the clock. And the captains, however, are out there and about to march on to midfield with the referees for tonight.
Tim, on a night like tonight, it's pretty normal that you won't see a big crowd, but they'll probably trickle in little by little. Mm-hmm. A lot going on with the hurricane, of course.
Yeah.
A lot of people are preparation. People, you mentioned something about Florida Southern being shut down.
Yeah. My daughter goes to Florida Southern. They're shut down for the whole week. Of course, a little harder with the private school and having kids on campus. There's some legal concerns about having kids there when it's closed off, so they decided to close all week. But the schools and various administrators have to make those calls and decisions.
And local businesses do too.
Yep.
But it's amazing how you know, we most of us have lived in Florida and in Lakeland for a long time, and up until Irma, people didn't really have a whole lot of fear of these hurricanes, but I think Irma woke us up.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long for people to start going to the gas lines and going to Publix and filling up with groceries, and it's pretty amazing. There's a lot of hype.
Certainly nothing calming about a storm out there churning in the Atlantic getting stronger, but, hey, take that as an opportunity hopefully to spend some time with family, your loved ones. You know, you got some time maybe that you don't otherwise have, and time's a valuable thing, as it looks like the Pioneers will be receiving the ball. The Dreadnaughts will defer to the second half. And we'll get set here in just a moment to run through the runway of victory and get this second regular season game underway. Fred mentioned 45-0 was your score last week against the Manatee Hurricanes. And they basically were shocked a little bit by the Knots coming in. And just wanted so badly to score any points. They were just begging at the end there, like, please let us score a field goal, anything.
Coach let Osceola score 20 points. If not, we'd have 88 points to 0 in 2 games.
Yeah, that's right.
88 points, folks.
And don't think
we gave up 20 to Osceola, but I can assure you that was after we had already taken our starters out.
Yeah, and don't think the defense and those kids don't like to preserve that. They had one shutout. They're going to see how long they can take that here in this game against the Pioneers tonight. And as you said, you know, you never know. The Pioneers have some good skill players as the cannon blows, and here come your Dreadnaughts. I don't know if that's the best sign, Fred. We had 2 Dreadnaughts take a tumble right out of the gate there on the runway to victory.
They got so excited they kind of stumbled.
Oh, my. Field should be okay, as you alluded to. Of course, this artificial turf has some different layers to it, so part of that is some absorption and the rain coming through and going through.
It looks like we have just a light drizzle, and you can see that the sky is kind of clear a little bit on the horizon, and with the new field and the way that the technology is, I think we shouldn't have a problem tonight. I mean, it's barely raining, so it should be a good night for football.
So we're
nice
looking
and hot.
Directly east. Yeah, a little bit muggy coming back in over Lake Parker. And you can see, as Fred says, some clearing skies. That's where predominantly the rain was shifting. It was coming east to west earlier today, and so the radar looks pretty good on that side of things. And I think we're going to get this thing in the books as we are set. And Fred and I will sit down and get to bring you this exciting action here. If you're listening to us, we thank you for joining us on this webcast from here locally. If you didn't come out because you thought it was going to be a little rainy tonight, you still can. But if you're away from us, all parts of Florida, Gainesville, Southeast, United States, internationally, we'd love to have you joining us, and thank you for being with us here on this Lakeland Dreadnaughts webcast. 2019 season, already into the second game. Hard to believe.
Tim, we were talking about on the air, reminiscing a little bit from the old radio days and how blessed our program has been to be able to bring the game to our fans, and now on live TV, and it's on the web, and but in the early days it was on the radio, and we even took it on the away games.
That's right.
Pretty amazing memories. A lot of good Dreadnought supporters out there.
We were blessed before the game by Downtown Harry's, who brought that chicken Louisiana, who I just can't help myself. I've got to dive. Even if I had food before that, I got to dive in for a plate of that, and it's just so good. And so Harry's has been a long-time supporter. We really appreciate them for bringing some food in to us tonight and just being such a good partner to Lakeland High School football. And thank you again to Downtown Harry's.
Can never go wrong with Harry's. I don't think I've ever had a bad meal there.
Nope. They're probably going to be open most of the weekend. Maybe you can go join it, get some Harry's in. Who knows when that thing's actually going to come upon us. As right now, though, we take our mind off that for just a few hours.
Matt's about to kick off.
There is, as Fred said, a light drizzle here at Bill Castle Field. Matt Word set end-over-end kick. Nice driving kick down to the 2-yard line.
Great kick.
Caught a lane looking to open, then closes quickly. Number 6 got hammered. Darius Collins got hit right at the 15-yard line and got stuck right there.
Well, we're going to be looking tonight. Hopefully you'll be hearing me name Shawn Smith quite a bit. He's our middle linebacker. Coach is very excited about him. Talked about him Monday night. Says that he's very, very impressed with how he has kicked off his performance anchoring the defense there as kind of head coach on the field at the middle linebacker spot.
Pioneers will officially start at the 16-yard line.
And who do you like, Tim? You mentioned a guy. Tell the fans.
For what?
Defense. Number 99.
Oh, Dindy, yeah. I'm really impressed with the 10th grader. He's been disrupting people. It just looks more mature than that on the outside. And he's going to test number 16, the quarterback, Will Mitchell, set in the shotgun for the first play, and they're not going to get this underway. There's going to be a flag early, and it'll go against the Pioneers. False start. A little bit jumpy, and understandably lining up against the state champion Dreadnaughts and kind of knowing what they've done just the last few games. Daunting task, to say the least.
Dreadnought fans, their offensive line is a little beefy up front, and they've got some really, really good-looking athletes at the wide receiver and tailback position.
Will Mitchell takes a two-step drop, getting lots of pressure, drive back into the end zone, and can't get the ball out. And the Dreadnaughts, I think, they're going to mark it dead. Are you kidding me? At the 1 yard line? How can they mark that dead?
Probably momentum.
Yeah. They said that he stopped momentum. The Dreadnaughts drove him back there into the end zone. So
I thought he was in the end zone, truthfully.
Hard to tell if he walked it back or not. A little bit of mercy maybe there.
Well, those Dreadnought fans, I take that back. That beefy offensive line, they couldn't stop the defensive line. The Dreadnoughts were just too much.
They came pouring in a hurry.
I'm just trying to be nice and pay him a compliment.
Poor Will Mitchell. I said, hey, he takes 2 steps, and then he already had 4 jerseys upon him and had absolutely nowhere to go.
Well, if they're big, they better start chopping their feet and high knees, baby.
Spreading the field.
They're going to be in trouble.
5 yards deep in the end zone. Mitchell hands off left side. A nice little break and run.
Oh, look at this.
Still on his feet. Number 2. Breaks free, just like you said. Kevon Lee still on his feet at the 40. Runs out of gas there, but gets into Dreadnought territory.
Oh, flag on the play, late tackle.
I don't know about that. He was running back in. That was an interesting call.
Number 2.
So 5 yards deep into the end zone, number 2,
Kevon Lee,
the 12th grade running back, breaks a big one and gives them tons of room and then tack on a 15-yarder, I think, at the end of that play.
That tailback is 6'2", 200 pounds, Dreadnought fans, and they looked athletic at the beginning of the game, like I said. Had no idea that he was going to break, based on that first play and how the defensive line got through, but somehow he found a crack, and his athleticism almost took it to the house, Tim.
Yeah. Like I said, he just kind of ran out of gas as the Dreadnoughts caught up with him. A lot of speed there on the Dreadnought defense. And pretty nice position. If you were to say, hey, first possession, you'd be down at the 15-yard line with a fresh set of downs, you'd be pretty pleased with that. William Mitchell trying to lead his team to put some points on the board. Number 7 this time gets the carry, runs right into the defensive line, the heart of the middle.
Coach wasn't kidding when he said that they were athletic and that those tailbacks could go. So it's evident that if there's a crack, we could be in trouble. So the defense just has to contain and tighten up, and hopefully that offensive line will just wear down.
Well, that's definitely one way to get your defense attention.
They're going to have to
now. They got to play a little assignment football, and even though they know they're good, they know that they got a stud back there that they got to watch out for.
They're going to be intentional about watching.
Oh, another flag. I don't know what's going on.
Huh.
Illegal substitution.
Pioneers did an illegal substitution at the last moment. Got called on it. Marched back. Again, you mentioned the skill. That was a big chunk of yardage. That's probably more yards than Manatee had against them last week on the ground, I would think.
That's probably the biggest play against our defense all year so far. 2 games into it, lots of plays.
Trying to capitalize on that behind Kevon Lee, the talented 12th grade running back. Mitchell this time under center. Has 2 backs. He's going to hand off to the running back number 3, Franklin. Gets a couple yards, but flags flying again. You hate to see that many yellow hankies, but it's going to go against the Pioneers again. So they're going the wrong direction, Fred.
Yeah, it seems evident to me, and time will play it out, is that the offensive line, they're bigger, wide-bodied guys, but they don't look like they're very good on their feet. And I think it's only a matter of time, Tim, before they get tired. And they got some really good athletes back there, but if there's no holes, they're not going to get anywhere.
So miscues, no gain. Now 3rd down and 17 upcoming. So they have their work cut out for them. We don't know what kind of kicker they have, if they're going to try to get a field goal, but first try to get some yards to get closer. Mitchell hands off to the late back. Number 3 makes a nice kind of spin move there and picks up some good yards. It's Franklin again, I believe.
Yep, Kevon Franklin. Boy, they got some speed and some talent in that backfield, though. If they get any kind of crease, they're getting some yards.
You talked about number 7, Shawn Smith, for us, who comes up and makes a nice tackle after a 5-yard gain. Does spring up 4th down and 12. They look like they're going to go for it, and why not? May not get many opportunities inside the red zone here against the Dreadnaughts.
Usually a small team like this that's full of athletes, and, they usually don't have much of a special teams game, so that's probably one of the reasons why they're going for it as well.
Mitchell's drop back. Nice fake, getting pressure. Left side, and that is, I think, maybe Dindy throws it off there, but number 99 was barreling Gabriel Dindy off the right side. Just came flying around, and
he's impressive. 6'3", 250-pound sophomore.
Man, and he
we
can
said
move.
We said it 2 weeks ago. We're going to be mentioning his name quite a bit this season.
Yeah. He just doesn't look like a 10th grader.
I looked in the backfield, or in the defensive secondary, Tim, and it seemed like their receiver was open for a split second, and then the Lakeland's defense just smothered him. They shut it down. And so when you got a pass rush and you've got athletes covering like that, there's just not a whole lot you can do.
So not able to capitalize on the long run by Kevon Lee, and then the personal foul penalty hitting out of bounds, and the Dreadnaughts take over on 4th down. And it looks like number 2 is going to keep it on the Wildcat. That is, of course, Mr. Finley Graham, who came in and took the keeper, got the direct snap.
We
saw that last week as well several times.
Yeah, and we asked him at the Monday night meeting if he was going to see some offensive touches, and he kind of smiled. And then somebody from the Booster Club asked him if he ever planned on throwing the ball, and he just kind of smiled again. He goes, "I'd like to," and Coach said, "Not on your line."
Yeah.
But you never know.
I wouldn't doubt that's in the playbook somewhere.
There's number 10, yeah. Arian Smith, the speedster.
Singled out. That's a hard task to play him man-to-man. We'll see. They do pitch it to Mason Martin. Mason Martin pitches it to number 1. DeMarcus Bowman gets shoved late out of bounds. There's a flag. He's reaching for that. That was a hit on the white line for sure. I don't blame him. It's any chance you can get him out of bounds or down, you want to do it.
Yep, that was a blatant late hit, though. The Pioneers should have been a little smarter there, but that's okay. We'll take the yardage.
Not the best-looking developed play there, Fred. It took a little while to develop. I don't know if someone just missed an assignment or just didn't look like it was a good flow to get DeMarcus outside quick, but still with the penalty picked up good yards, and now we're into Pioneer territory.
It looked from the blocking scheme, Tim, that play was intended to go up the middle, and it looked like it closed down, and he just bounced.
Outside the 42-yard line, the Dreadnaughts, fresh set of downs. Handoff number 21 where Reggie Kellum gets the ball, but the refs stop it again.
So the Dreadnought fans, the offensive look that we're coming out with is we've got 2 tailbacks that are in the upright position, the up back position with 1 tailback. DeMarcus Bowman is the single back. But it looks like we've come out in like a 3-back set. Just to kind of give everybody an idea of how we're set up.
Even with some of the new placement rules, you can see Coach Castle still is more comfortable just calling the play in from the sidelines as Mason Martin comes in. That play was to Reggie Kellum. And again, you just talk about the stable of running backs and talent that we have back there. There's many, not just DeMarcus Bowman. As you have an inside handoff to Kellum again, who has some room. Nice block, breaks a tackle there at the 42, spins around, still on his feet. And I don't know if he kept his feet or not.
Reggie.
If that is, that's a highlight run for sure. Reggie Kellum, let's see if they called him down. No, they did not. Touchdown.
Nope, touchdown.
Number 21. He just would not be denied, just kept pinballing off people. And what a move. We thought they had him at the 22 and just apparently just put his hand down. Nothing touched other than that.
Whenever you see a play like that where Coach runs – he runs a little bit to the sidelines, and then he runs that counter. He usually sees that backside linebacker overrunning a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. And that is, I give Coach credit for studying. That's just game film studying. That's just doing his homework. That counter play was perfect. That backside linebacker had over pursued, and that hole was right there. Broke a couple tackles in the secondary, touchdown.
Reggie made the most of it. He didn't hit the first defensive player until he was about 8 yards deep. There's a bit of a miss snap there, so he's going to try to pick up a 2-point conversion on the outside. Number 10 is going to come up a little short at the 3-yard line. So first ill attempt for a extra point of the season for us.
Yeah, wet night.
Yep.
Bobble snap.
Could be, but 6 points on the board, though, on a well-designed and called play. You know, a lot on that inside handoff, Fred, there's a lot going on back there. You got people moving. That's a little tough for the defense to really figure out where the ball is coming.
You got two tailbacks that are in the up back position, and you've got a single back. And it's like the old wing T offense. There's a lot of motion.
Yep.
And the other 2 backs are moving, and then the one running back is coming from the right side to the left side of the field up underneath the quarterback. And
that outside linebacker on the opposite side is got to read his keys. And if he over pursues, that backside is open, and the only one that can stop it is the secondary. The safety has to make the tackle or the backside corner.
And that's exactly what happened. But they did not make the tackle. That's the first player in the secondary that Reggie ran into, and then he just literally broke 3-4 tackles. I'd love to see that one again on the highlight reel later. Very nice run by number 21, though. Again, just as we talked about that talent in the backfield, not just number 1, DeMarcus Bowman.
And a play like that, obviously, doesn't go unless you've got some really good blocking up front. And it looked like the offensive line did a pretty good job creating those holes.
Matthew Word lays into it again. Same spot almost exactly at the 2-yard line. Drop this time. Make sure a lot of times these plays can turn out good, but not this one. He gets back around the 10, 11 maybe. Caldwell on the kickoff return. Nice kick by Matthew Word. That's all we need him to do is just get it down there deep inside the 5 or 10-yard line. Let the special teams do their thing.
I tell you, I'm very impressed with how Coach has the team prepared so early in the season. And I'm not just exaggerating because there's always a fresh crop of athletes that come in, and you're developing the younger classmen.
Yeah, but it is
how they're able to gel. It's not always easy, and now everybody just expects Coach to do it.
Yeah, it is. You've seen enough teams coming in at this stage to know, and so have the other Dreadnought fans I've been talking to that say it's a little bit unique that they're at this spot already. Fun to see. Not for the opponents, though, as high snap, Mitchell kind of shovel pass there underneath. Good idea, but the Dreadnoughts sniffed it out.
I asked Coach jokingly on Monday night, I go, you got a big day tomorrow for Tuesday? And he looked at me in typical Coach Castle fashion, and he goes, every day's a big day.
The linebacker, DeAndre Ellefson, came up and made a nice stop. No gain virtually, 2nd down 10.
And that says a lot about his attitude, his work ethic, and his demeanor, and his commitment to success and why these kids are successful year in and year out. There's no let up. Coach never, ever takes a break.
5 wide receivers spread, 3 to the far side, 2 to this near side. The refs are going to call a penalty flag. Not sure if there was some movement prior to the snap. False start, Pioneers.
Brings up 2nd down and 15.
So they got out of the hole last time with a fantastic run, but that may have been an anomaly, as they're back now again inside the 5-yard line, the ball touching the 5. Still same formation, spreading out. Quarterback in the shotgun, take 3 step back into the end zone, keeps it straight up the middle, trying to get some pressure. Not a bad idea. Spread the defense a little bit and then trying to run up the middle. And Mitchell picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Still not back to the original line of scrimmage, and it'll bring up 3rd down and around 13 yards to go.
Dadrian James, that tackle, number 51. He's one of our beefy
6'1", 320 pounds. I guess if you run into him, you ain't going nowhere, Tim.
Sure looked like that play gained a few more yards, but then it gave him a couple. Still 3rd and 13 to go in the same spread formation for the quarterback.
Ball's in the
Mitchell
air.
Throws it deep and nearly. I think the defensive back, actually for the Dreadnoughts, misplayed it a little bit.
Jalen Christian.
Yeah, it sailed a little further than he thought.
He kind of stopped, and if he would have kept running, following the receiver, he might have had an interception.
I think he was fooled that he thought the ball was underthrown, so he kind of, like you said, posted up and stopped, but the ball kept sailing. And actually, if the wide receiver would have kept running down the sideline, he would have had a good shot at it.
He would have, yeah.
But he kind of stopped with the defensive back. Yeah.
Quarterback threw a nice floater out there, and the receiver gave up on it, and so did our DB.
Exactly. So a chance for a run back. Finley Graham is joined by number 23 in the backfield there, Kendall Dennis. Lots of speed, no shortage there for sure. The punter, getting some pressure and throws a knuckleball at about the 28, and everyone says get away from it. It'll trickle out of bounds. Actually stays in bounds and gets a few more yards right at the 40. Not horrible for the way that thing started out. You know, again, it's almost a blessing that you don't get it in Finley Graham's hands or Dennis out there.
What I'm noticing so far, Tim, is a Pioneer team that has really, really good skill. I'd say they're below average on special teams, obviously below average on special teams, and not real beefy on either side of the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to be a long night for them.
And once you figure out those skilled players, and like you said earlier, you kind of hold the respect for them. There's not a lot else they can do. Is getting it out in the hands of number 9, who makes a nice little run after catch. We call them the Racks.
Jalen Roll.
Yeah, good reception.
Mason Martin's pass is complete to Jalen Roll.
Again, Mason's passes typically look sharp like that. Nice spiral, tight right into Jalen Roll's hands and gave him time to work.
Coach has been most impressed with the way he throws the football. You know, I know there's a lot of talk right now with Shale Garnett. He's, with the Auburn recruit, and he said, listen, he said he's going to have to come in here and prove himself. He goes, Mason has earned he's earned the spot, and he goes, I'm not afraid to play with him. Not afraid to go into the season at all.
Tight formation this time. Mason Martin drops back, looking, throws it, has a man wide open. DeMarcus Bowman out of the backfield, touchdown. They just left him all alone, forgot completely. They said if he's not getting the ball in the backfield, he ain't getting the ball, but surprise. What a well-designed play that was.
Great play, well-designed play. What made that play go, though, was Mason. Showed incredible poise in the pocket, Dreadnought fans. He had a defensive lineman in his face. He had to wait for Bowman to get open. Now, that's hard to do as a quarterback under pressure with a guy in your face about to tackle you, and you're waiting, and then you throw the perfect pass.
That was beautiful.
He caught it in stride.
Yeah,
I mean, Bowman's an athlete. He's expected to catch it. Great throw by Mason. Great poise.
I'm sure Clemson likes to see that coming out of the backfield. Debo being able to catch the ball is again. I was watching some of the highlight tapes of him earlier today and the training tapes, and they were working on doing that. Those pass plays that coming out of the backfield, and so you don't get to see it. He's so talented, just handing the ball off. You don't get to see that a lot, but wow, that looked perfect. Perfect.
When I coached, and for you Dreadnought fans, I coached running backs. I used to love it when Coach would call a pass play that involved the tailbacks. It's fun to watch them catch a pass instead of running the ball.
Yeah, movement on the Pioneers, and Coach Castle sends in the Hammer team to try to pick up 2 and get that lost extra point back here early on. 12-0 your score right now, trying to make it 14-0. At Bryant Stadium, the Dreadnaughts with just a beautiful pass play. So we got Reggie Kellum with a fantastic run and DeMarcus Bowman with a fantastic reception. Maybe not what you would think, as inside handoff falls through in the end zone over the goal line, and that 2-point conversion is good.
That touchdown pass, it looked like Bowman just ran a wheel route and then took it right up the center of the field. Usually wheel routes, you run into the width of the field. He ran it more vertical, but he was wide open.
And again, everyone just assumed because he doesn't have the ball, he's not going to touch it in any part in this play. They just let him go.
Nobody followed.
No one. Jakari Martin, very talented in the backfield as well, has a lot of power, was able to pick up the 2-point conversion with relative ease, and it brings the score to 14-0.
Tim, I want to give a shout out to Coach Tom Short. Hey, Tommy.
Please.
I think he's one of our former coaches, Dreadnought fans. Our middle linebacker coach, actually our complete linebacker coach, did a fantastic job. State championship coach. I think he's listening. Hope you're doing well.
So great opportunity for the Knots to work on some of these plays, these different configurations. Boy, I mean, there's so many ways you could open up a playbook with this talent. It's just take your pick. It's unbelievable.
Well, and the thing that you're seeing about Lakeland, and that's why we're the envy to a lot of programs, and a lot of coaches come and they study us and want to know what we're doing. But we're strong in every phase of the game. Coach places a lot of emphasis on special teams.
The 6-yard line, number 6 has a head of steam.
That's number 6,
making
the
a nice
athlete
run,
again.
breaking some tackles.
He can take it.
That's Darius Collins. That'll be no, they didn't call the late flag. Still.
Darius Collins on the kickoff return.
Both of them fighting, one fighting for yards, the other fighting to get them out of bounds. So they
5'8" scat back.
Yeah.
First down and 10 from the Dreadnaughts.
That little guy can go. He's a little scamper athlete.
Yeah, first down and 10. That was
I'm
actually,
telling you, Coach said there's about 6 or 7 of these guys that can
that was a
flat get
different
it.
player. I mean, that wasn't Kevon. That was Darius Collins, and he took off and looked like he wanted to make some stuff happen. And he did, and again, in good field position.
And this is a very typical, I talked to the players again Monday night, asked them what they thought about the game so far, and they knew that they were playing a team that only had 30 kids. And I think this is a classic example of them just falling asleep a little bit at the wheel. They're confident in their ability, and they're probably on 95% of the time, but tonight they'll probably take a few plays off, and when they do, this little team will snake bite them a little bit. This is where Lakeland has to be on their game every minute of every play. But they're so talented, they feel like they probably can get away with a little break here and there. Mm-hmm. And when they do, this team will punish them.
Darius Collins and Nicholas Caldwell lined up to this left side, 2 wide receivers far side. They do hand off to their stud back who gets flipped around. Some big collisions going on there, about 4 yards deep.
Hit. Number 7, Shawn Smith, middle linebacker. Bring in the thunder, but that tailback hit him hard.
Wonder what his middle name is. I would have named him something with an O, and so he could have been SOS and save our ship or sink our ship.
I hear you.
Because that's what the defenders, or rather the running backs, are saying when they get hit by him.
Whew. That was a classic collision by a tailback and a middle linebacker with no blocking in between. That's like Oklahoma drill. That was a big hit.
Number 16 set again 2 yards deep. They're going to keep blowing that whistle. Boy, they're not giving them a chance to get much momentum. Will Mitchell stops the play again, and it is against the Pioneers. They're just wanting to get going so quick, Fred, on those plays. They're just jumping all over the place.
I can't get that play out of my head. So that was a 6 foot, 200-pound tailback going up against a 6'2", 220. Sean, 6'2", 205 linebacker with no blocking in between. That was a collision. It was fun to watch.
It was approaching slobber knocker territory, but maybe not quite there. We're almost there. We'll save it for a good one, but they're coming.
And I have to admit, the tailback got the better end of the stick.
Well, with that timeout, we do have some commercials coming up for you with some sponsors. So let's take a brief timeout with the Dreadnaughts leading 14-0, and we'll be right back after these messages.
One of the most important things that we do is actually sit down and take the time to have a good understanding, having a customer that maybe is opening another location, and to help them either secure another piece of property. Whenever our customers are successful, we feel successful as well. And just being able to share in that process is a great experience, and that's why we do what we do.
Thanks to Center State Bank back here at Bryant Stadium. Dreadnaughts up 14-0. We'd also, again, like to thank the LHS Leadership Club with Downtown Harry's helped, again, be the press box sponsors tonight. So both of those folks. And remind you that there is a post-game gathering at Duke's. There is a party. Just bring your ticket stub all season long after the game. Get a free appetizer. And so go join them on South Florida Avenue at Lake Miriam Drive. His quarterback set again. It does hand off to number 2. Gets wrapped up right behind the line. Is that Dindy again? No, let's see.
Tackled by Britton.
Nope, Britton. Or Glinton, rather. Ryshawn Glinton, the 12th grade.
Tim, I've noticed Will Mitchell, their quarterback, he's 6'3", 220 pounds. I mean, he's legit.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got good size from the sidelines, but I looked up his stats just now. He's a good-looking player.
He is.
Man, if they had a line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, or especially on offense with the athletes he's got and with the quarterback skills, I think they could make some noise.
Like you said,
they just have nothing up front.
Yeah, their offensive line's big,
but
they're not moving well.
And then look at their tight end. Their tight end he ain't much to look at. He can't hold a block.
Running right around him right there. They did again. The quarterback goes down for a big sack. Boy, just coming from both ends, just sandwiched. Dindy again, just flying around the corner. Man, he is such a good-looking player.
On the left side of the field, Dreadnought fans, they had a tight end lined up, and he didn't look much bigger than me. A little bit taller, but for those of you that know me, I'm not very big, but they couldn't contain him. There's just no way. Their line of scrimmage just can't hold it.
Poor Will is just fighting for his life back there. I mean, when you don't even have – you literally – you're still going backwards and you're getting pressure. You haven't even stopped to plant and set your feet yet, and you're already getting almost annihilated back there. So just no chance. Can't fault the quarterback for that. Gets it again, another try. He's again under pressure. He has to drop, and he is going to get hit hard.
Oh, no.
Oh, he does try to pitch the ball
and he fell
late,
down.
And they lose an extra couple yards. Just anything.
He tried to flip it backwards, Dreadnought fans, and he just put it in the hands of the tailback about 15, 20 yards deep. They took a big loss. Hey, have you ever played tag football? And remember how you always used to say 1 Mississippi, 3 Mississippis? Well, this is like football with no Mississippi. Right. They're just running straight at you.
He's not even getting past 1. He's like 1.
Yep. You ain't counting Mississippi against this team, against the Dreadnought defense.
They're there in a hurry as the Knots will take over just shy of the 50-yard line at about the 48. And as Fred said earlier, I just can already see the Pioneers wearing down a little bit.
Looks like we're coming out in the I formation.
Yep, players going both ways, strong I formation, one wide receiver to each side. Boy, the refs just getting all involved in this game.
Timeout,
Timeout Pioneers prior to the snap. They'll talk things over for just a brief moment here with 3:33 remaining in the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take one more timeout here before the first quarter ends with 3:33 left, and we'll be right back with you.
Growing up in Florida, I've always enjoyed exploring the lakes, rivers, bays, and the Gulf. But when entering unfamiliar waters, I do best when guided by a local expert. No one knows the way like they do. Likewise, when you get hurt on the job, you may need help to navigate state and federal laws that protect you and your family. If you find yourself in unfamiliar or troubled waters, hire an expert guide. Hire Smith, Fedler & Smith.
All right, back here at Bryant Stadium. Fantastic support always by our sponsors.
We've got some great support.
Yep.
We're thankful for our community, no doubt about it.
Year after year, you see those same, names just stepping forward to support the program, and we appreciate them so much.
I remember the support when I was a player, but you don't understand until you become an adult and you're a citizen, right, and you're working what it takes to keep something like that moving. Oh boy!
Mason Martin throws it out again to number 9. That same exact play, nothing fancy there. It's a Jalen roll. Just trying to give him some space out there in the flat. Gibson makes a nice tackle on him.
I'm most impressed with Mason, and and our receivers. I mean, they're catching the ball. All got great hands. Good execution.
For the most part, he's getting a dab of pressure, but not so much where he can't function, obviously, like poor Will Mitchell over there. He's able to set his feet and let the players run their routes enough to get the ball. Strong eye again. Now second down and short. Up front handoff this time.
There he is.
And that's number 5 for the Dreadnaughts, who just trips. Jakari Martin got the turf tackle.
He kind of tackled himself.
He did.
He was so open, he got excited and just tripped over his feet.
We call them the turf monster, who just comes up and reaches up and grabs you every once in a while. Nice 12-yard gain still, though. First down, Knots. So excited he was out in the open, he didn't know what to do. That just shows you, again, the talent level with the fullback getting that play and in a hurry breaking the defensive line. Just toying with him a little bit here in the first quarter still, 2:22 remaining. Mason Martin this time hands off to Bowman. Bowman makes a shift, bounces off a player. If he gets outside, watch out. Cuts back. Nice tackle, though, as the flag flies. The helmet comes off of a player. It is in the holding territory. Well,
yeah.
Personal foul. So
tailback had a certain lane in mind. Bowman was heading up. He again, it was another bounce situation, and he tried to make a play out of nothing and just couldn't do anything. And usually in a situation like that, the offensive line gets desperate, makes a bad block.
The ball will be marched back on the personal foul. Bowman's usually pretty good at making some of his own space, but just a little off rhythm tonight maybe with the offensive line. Just the lanes he's normally used to running to aren't there, so he's having to shift a little bit and not quite getting the momentum we usually see him get, but just wait, kind of, as they would say. Strong eye, but they have number 10 flared out. Arian Smith there, wide. And Mason Martin hands up to Jakari Martin. Jakari breaks a couple tackles and makes a nice gain back to pick up some penalty yards back.
And the Pioneers are a little bit more stout on defense. They've got, usually when you have, you put your better athletes on defense, you can kind of get away with playing a little bit more. You can execute better. And so they're a little bit stronger on defense than they are up front with their offensive line.
Second down and 16. 17 officially on the board. Mason directs Jakari up near the line. Bowman's back there to block. Mason Martin drops back, looks left side, flicks of the wrist, and short pass, just not quite getting to his intended receiver. Pretty good coverage as well.
He tried, the receiver was open. He tried to throw a little floater in there, and that was on Mason. He should have threw it out there a little harder.
Yeah, he just thought he could flip it out with plenty of power and just didn't get there.
He was just a little light.
Gave time for the defensive backs to converge on it. Thankfully, wasn't picked off.
Nope. Could have been.
So a 3rd and 17, 3rd and long we're not used to seeing for the Knots here this season. They do spread the field, 2 wide receivers each side, and
you don't see 3rd and long too often.
Nope.
Not so far this year.
Bowman will stay in the backfield.
It's good to be in these situations. If your coach, he wants to see kind of what these kids can do. They need to have a little bit of adversity and have their backs against the wall, see if they can make a big play.
Resetting the ball a little bit. This may be 4th down territory. We'll see what Mason Martin does. He's pass all the way, drops back and will do a little floater, and it was setting up a screen pass for Bowman. And just again, that connection not quite there.
Yep, Bowman dropped the ball, which is very unusual, but it's a wet night. Ball's wet. And, it's just one of those, looks like it was a screen that it looked like the blocking was there. He just couldn't quite grab it and hold it down.
Mm-hmm. Good idea. Let the defensive line come to you. They let kind of 3 guys through on the jailbreak. Mason just has to keep calm and just kind of throw it over that defensive line that's approaching, and maybe a little high, but DeMarcus maybe a little off tonight as well.
Sometimes the kids come out just a little bit flat, but 14-0's not too shabby.
Word set to punt this ball away. Pretty good snap, nearly blocked. There is a flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
It's an unusual bad snap. Wasn't a very good snap.
He's pointing right at one of the Knots. Let's see what that was. Yeah.
Yep, going to repunt it.
First start against the Dreadnaughts.
Tell you what, they Knots didn't block very well on that.
No, and the ball was snapped really weak and kind of came back there really weak and wobbly, and you
start adding those things
critical.
Up.
That snap is critical. You got to get a good snap in order to get an effective punter, an effective kickoff. I mean, that's critical.
A little bit of lightning off to our east, but still pretty far away and
better.
Matthew Word gets it out there, and it's going to take a good bounce, and let's see if it settles in. Just goes in the end zone. Barely. I mean, it was slowing down right there at the 3 and trickled in before we could get down there. So out to the 20, she shall come.
Well, let's see what the defense can do.
Yep. Still not a bad
I am
first
firmly
quarter.
confident that the defense can shut them down if they just decide that they want to do it at this point from what I've been seeing. It just depends on if they want to take a break.
Felt like a pretty long first quarter, and we still have just under a minute left for the Pioneers to try to capitalize something. They've had a couple good runs, a couple good plays.
That's it.
You look at their rushing yards, and not bad probably for a first quarter for the Pioneers. Again, one of those things, if you were to look at it beforehand, you'd be like, hey, we did all right, but not able to score. Different quarterback in. Will Mitchell came out. He's going to fire it out to the sideline.
Let's see what we got.
It's going to be out of bounds by a good 10 yards, though. Number 23 on the coverage for the Knots, Dennis. So just gunslinger coming in, arm for hire. We do have the band now.
We got a band. We got cheerleaders. We got anchorettes. We got everybody. Looks like it's normal. We don't have near as many fans, but that's normal because of the hurricane preparation, I'm sure, and the rain tonight. But other than that, it's a pretty normal game.
Maybe we have a few more people settled in listening to us on the webcast tonight.
We probably do.
Thank you for joining us if that's the case.
Awesome. Well, this is a classic case of kind of like your daughter or your son when you're telling them to eat their food. Hey, quit playing with your food before you eat it. Eat it. This defense, they're playing with their food right now. We just want them to eat it, make a play.
Demetrius Davis is that quarterback that came in for Will Mitchell. He drops back, 2-step drop, fires it over. And
interception.
I told him. By the Knots.
Baby.
As the Dreadnaughts come in. There's a flag on the play. Finley Graham got a great jump on that ball.
My goodness. What?
Personal foul against the Knots. Not sure where that was.
I don't know.
But I think it was after the interception. It'll just be not a touchdown and marked from where the penalty took place.
Boy, he caught that pass with some serious confidence. I mean, like he was just ready. He broke on the football. If you're a DB coach, this was a dream play to watch. He backpedaled, slid to the side, was watching the receiver, kept his eye on the quarterback, and all of a sudden when the quarterback let it loose, he broke on the ball, caught it perfectly in forward motion stride, took it to the house. I mean, he was in the end zone in like 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah, roughing the passer.
Wow. Huh. Well, that's too bad because that was a really, really good defensive play.
That is.
Boy, Finley Graham can break on the ball.
Woo. Wiped out completely. So
he can break on the ball.
First down, Pioneers taking 7 points off the board, 6 points off the board for the Knots. Same quarterback.
Defensive line's a little upset now, making some plays. That was a touchdown. They were like, man, we had a touchdown.
Unfortunate. Demetrius Davis, the quarterback, again, hands off.
I didn't see the roughing. Did you see the roughing? I had my eye on the interception the whole time.
I was watching the good action with Finley Graham out there.
Holy smokes, that was a great play.
Can't comment because we didn't see it, but hard to tell if the refs are a little touchy or if it was just
usually they're right. And I'm sure we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'll ask Coach.
And that is the official end of the first quarter. They will switch sides. The Dreadnaughts do go into the second quarter with a 14-0 lead. And we do have the Dreadnought wave, as is fairly new tradition here at Bryant Stadium.
On the campus of Lakeland Regional Health.
As the campus of Lakeland Regional Health, we're going to ask everyone to stand up and wave over to the children and teens over there. These are kids that are in the pediatric unit who just are enjoying watching the Dreadnoughts. So here it goes. And there are those kids up there, and the phones are waving. Just a brief moment to let them know we're thinking about them.
Well wishes from our Dreadnought family to yours.
It's awesome.
It's a great experience.
That's something that'll
love to see the players and get involved. And some of the guys that spoke Monday night again said they had been up to the hospital, and to hear these young players talk about how they were touched by talking to the sick children. And the looks on these little sick kids' faces when the players were up there, coming up there in their jerseys, and they're saying hello, shaking their hands, high-fiving, bringing some Dreadnought paraphernalia up there. I think they give them little jerseys, dill jerseys and T-shirts, and they love that.
It's kind of stuff you don't forget either,
No.
You just they seem like small moments, but in someone's lifetime, those can make a big impact. When you just all of us, that's a good lesson to all take that little time. We're all rushing around so much. I saw a thing on earlier at Disney World where the girl that played Snow White, the character, there's a little autistic boy, and he was frantically just having an episode, and she just kind of took his hand and got out of the crowd and went and spent some time with this autistic kid and laid his head on her lap and danced with him, and he calmed right down. And just, one of those unique things taking a little time is number 2 is Kevon Lee trying to get free, but the defense just pushes him back.
And Kevon he's that 200-pound back, Division I prospect. But if you don't have any kind of blocking, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, if you don't have any help,
he's hoping for a miracle hole, and then he can break it 60 yards. But that's not going to happen too many times with the Dreadnought defense we have.
Loss of a yard, 3rd down and 11.
Hopefully we can keep our focus, Tim. We keep our focus, I think we're going to have a good night.
Defense had their first, what would have been touchdown taken away from them on the roughing the passer call. Hopefully many more opportunities. Finley Graham for sure is one that will look to exact his revenge and get that back. Number 22 enters the play late. And the quarterback getting tons of pressure and slung down at the 20-yard line. Sack. Woo! Cleotis Anglin.
6'3", 235 pounds.
One of your captains
senior defensive
tonight.
Line. Boy, we got some big ones.
Cleotis.
Another senior. Just when I think I've named them all, I get surprised by a new addition to the defense.
Not a good sign for Demetrius Davis and the Pioneers. I don't know if he got stepped on or cramping or what's going on, but he's got a leg that looks.
Yeah, they can't afford to have any injuries. They just don't have the depth.
We might want to go ahead and take a brief timeout here with the Dreadnaughts leading 14-0, just underway second quarter. And we'll be back after these messages.
1, 2, 1. good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Back here at Bryant Stadium, can't see by that camera angle, but they are helping Demetrius Davis off. Not putting a lot of pressure on that leg, but he is now kind of walking under his own. So hopefully just a stinger there. But 4th down and 24, a country mile.
Looks like they're going to try and punt it. Hopefully they can get the snap back. They have not been able to punt it. I wouldn't be surprised if Lakeland brings the house and tries to get a block here.
Number 34, Devarian James is set to.
Oh, look at this.
Like
broken play.
Kind of a
he's
broken
running for
play.
it. He's trying to run for it. It was a broken snap.
He could fly, though. I tell you what, he was moving. He had a chance, but Dreadnaughts came up and made a nice play.
Boy, it would be frustrating to play on that team if you're a good athlete because they have a handful of really good athletes. And
that guy was flying.
They're just, I'm telling you, they're impressive, and Coach was right. But they have no sense. They just don't have the total team effort to sustain any kind of drive or any kind of special teams play. I mean, they literally can't even punt.
They'll win a few games this year just on that talent. They'll
depends on who they play, Tim.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends on who they play. But they've got such weak special teams. If you can't punt, if you can't kick, I mean, you better be able to score lots of touchdowns. Mm-hmm. I'd like to see the defense they're going up against in the future.
The plane that sometimes flies over Dreadnought Bryant Field here is going tonight, so skies must have cleared a little bit, doing some advertising up there as Mason Martin hands off to DeMarcus Bowman looking for a little help. Follows his blockers nicely, patiently, picks up about 7 yards.
It doesn't look like our offensive line is quite woken up tonight,
right?
They're not getting that push like I've seen them get.
They're
doing okay, but they're not getting that big push like
yeah.
And it's a flat night. I get it. There's not a lot of fans in the stands. I mean, there's not a lot of energy in the air. Kids have a lot on their mind, I'm sure, but it's just a flat night so far. Although we got 14 points on the board, should have 21 with the interception, but still. For our Dreadnought standards that we have so far this year, it's not what we're
trying to get
DeMarcus
DeMarcus Bowman a little bit of a rhythm now. Nice cut back to the outside and good blocks inside. There is a flag, and DeMarcus gets hit at about the 13, 14-yard line, but I think that one's coming back as well. Again, holding territory for the flag.
Looks like it was. Yep. And like I said, there's a few athletic players on that defense, and don't want to take anything away from the Pioneers. I mean, they got some athletes, and they're going to make you earn some yardage on their defense.
They're actually flying to the ball pretty well.
They're going to make you earn some yardage on the defense. They got athletes on that defense.
A name that many of you may have not heard: American Collegiate Academy Pioneers.
They got some size and they got some athletes. They're athletic on defense, no doubt. They got a very weak offensive line, which frustrates their skill players. But this defense, if Lakeland's got a block, or this defense is going to give them a little bit of give them some fits.
2nd and 12 now after the penalty. Fake to Bowman, nice setup play.
Number 10 Speedster.
Speedster. He's got wide room, lots of lane, and he takes off.
Oh, I don't know why he punished him.
Yeah,
boy, he was quick.
He almost.
Arian can flat out fly, Tim.
Yeah.
After he caught that ball, Dreadnought fans, he just kind of took one little step and took it to the sidelines, and then it was gone.
I don't think we've seen his supercharger yet.
I don't know, but boy, that was a glimpse of it right there.
He looked like a gazelle, didn't he? Just flying down the sideline.
They called him out of bounds on that one sidestep that I told you he had, but evidently he must have had his foot on a little bit too far out of bounds.
Still a first down.
I thought he was in, though. I mean, but I can't see it from up here.
But how quickly he got down the field. I mean, in a hurry, he had already picked up 10, 12 yards. And the first down. Strong I formation for Mason Martin again. Reggie Kellum has tons of room. Nice block on the exterior by number 10, Aaron Smith. He's going to spin around, stay on his feet, and drive into the end zone. Boy, I am impressed with number 21. Let's see.
I think he made it.
How could they mark him out? Well,
another flag,
too.
It's kind of just
killing any kind of momentum.
Refs are just throwing flag after flag.
We've always been kind of that quick rhythm team, and we're just almost not able to get in it with the refs.
I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if it's a holding call against one of the receivers that was blocking for his teammate or what.
Boy, I tell you, it looked like a fantastic block by Arian Smith out there, unless he held him.
Looks like it might be coming back a little bit. Looks like a holding call.
Not sure what that is.
I don't know why they put it there. It looked like it was a 5-yard penalty. It looks like it's got to be some kind of a penalty because it was right on the goal line. It looked like Dreadnought fans, it looked like he had marched into the end zone.
Illegally assisting the ball carrier.
Okay, there it is.
So pushing him in,
Pushing him in because it was right on the goal line, so they must have penalized him 5 yards, it looks like.
That's one you don't get called a lot.
Yep. Usually when you're helping somebody get into the end zone, they don't call it.
That's part of the play, right?
It's like part of the play. I thought he scored.
Help a friend out. Debo back. He's going to get the ball straight up the gut, and it's hammered.
Tell you what, he took a hard hit.
At the 2-yard line. What a good shot by
looked like number 33 hit him.
Yeah.
The Dreadnaughts are now in the red zone.
I think DeMarcus thought he had clear sailing there, and then all of a sudden just ran into a wall he didn't expect.
Got met by number 33, Byron King, for the Pioneers.
It's kind of like when you run into a glass that you don't see you can't tell that the sliding glass door is there, and then bam!
And he had already been twisted up, and he was kind of falling backwards into the end zone, and he got tackled in the back. And that's kind of and that can whip your head around too, create a little whiplash effect. So glad he wasn't hurt on that play.
Seems to be doing fine.
He's tough.
Second down, goal to go with the 2.
Touchdown.
Easy. Off the right side for Mr.
That was that same
Martin.
hammer. That same hammer offense. And Tim, I said, how many times have you heard me say Coach has been running that play for 30, 35 years, and you still can't stop it?
Well, you can't stop. Hey, that's why you keep running.
Because I'm not going to change the play if you can't stop it.
I bet the success percentage on that's got to be 80, 90% or something. Why would you stop that?
I've been seeing that play. I think I saw that play when I was about 2.
Yeah. I mean, it's simple in its form, but you just get a good push. You don't know who's getting the ball, and it can go a multitude of directions, so it's very difficult to stop.
It's very difficult to stop.
And with our talented players, it's not like they're easy to get down anyway, so you got that push.
And that formation on the goal line, Dreadnought fans, we basically have 2 fullbacks.
Well, that was
and one
just
tailback.
A little bit of
and it looked like we had a broken snap again.
I don't know.
We got to figure that out.
I don't know.
Because it's a wet night, but that's okay. We're going to have a lot of wet nights. We got to get that snap figured out for sure.
It makes me wonder if he took off so quick. That was just a great decision by our speedster, Arian Smith, and that's the player you want to get it if you have a chance.
Arian, I don't know if it's I can't quite tell if it's the snap or if it's Arian. And Arian's got great hands, obviously. He's a receiver. But they got to figure that timing out because that's going to be a problem down the road.
As easy as that went in, that's not a bad 2-point play.
Boy, and you can't have a better person there because he's a receiver, he's got good hands, and he's the speed demon of the team.
The only thing I would change on that is you
hit that corner like it was a design play.
The only thing I would change on that play, design it, but then just have a guy trailing there in the end zone, and if somehow someone's in front of him, just have him flip it to that guy, have him do a little pass play. But that's a pretty good 2-point play right there. Chances are no one's going to catch up with him anyways.
No.
I still want to see him on a full sprint. I haven't seen him in the open field yet. Just pour it on.
He returned a kick last week, Coach, and I saw it on the highlight tape. And Coach said it was, in person. He goes, it was amazing to watch.
Oh,
he goes, he just glides.
Yeah,
I've never heard Coach say that. He goes, he just glides.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see if we can get a deep kick here. Give him some confidence.
22 zip. Defense still
nice kick.
Holding tight to that shutout. Ball at the 4-yard line, number 11. Heads over to the left side trying to get the sideline and gets nice play on special teams. Pushed
nice
out of
tackle.
bounds prior to the 20.
Another nice kick by Matt. Good job. He's got if I was Matt right now, I'd be going to the sidelines and getting with whoever the holder is and let's get it on. We got to work on our timing.
Number 11 hit number 11 on that play.
Isaac just walked up behind me. Isaac Jackson, our superstar linebacker, 1999. Casey Anderson.
Look at that.
Another star for the 99 team. Oh, my goodness.
Got him flowing
96
up here.
and 99. These guys got 2 rings.
They still look too young.
They do.
How's that?
They're golfers now.
Oh, okay.
They want some golf from Coach. I still think I got some game.
Will Mitchell back in at quarterback after the injury. And then he lets it go, but he gets hit right as he got – nearly caught.
That was a good tip. Good tip.
Pretty good defensive play by Champ Johnson.
Kendall Dennis. Not a bad play by Kendall.
Second down and 10.
I think that was actually number 23, Champ. No, that was Kendall. You're right.
Yep.
I was thinking it was Champ Johnson, but Kendall Dennis stepped in there. Yeah, he had a shot at it, but, boy, the quarterback took a shot as he let go. That'll make you think for sure. Will Mitchell, under duress to say the least all night. They tried to, again, go with maybe a little bit more mobile quarterback, Demetrius Davis, who limped off last series and did not come back on.
Looks like they're outspread. They got 4 wides. Pioneers got 4 wides, Dreadnought fans.
Shotgun formation. Will Mitchell takes a quick step, drops, fires over, and caught by number 23. Dennis has it this time with a host of Dreadnoughts in front of him.
Looks like it could be a return for a touchdown.
Easily
wow,
goes in.
Nice play.
Yeah, that was kind of an inevitable play to happen. We knew it was going to sometime this game, but
at some point the quarterback has nowhere to go, but he still has to throw it
under pressure.
He's going to try to squeeze something in under pressure, and the defense is going to be there. And this is how we play defense. This is how good we're supposed to be. We just can't be taking any plays off. When you're playing a light team like this, we need to take care of business and take care of business early, just like we have the previous 2 games.
Mitchell had 2 targets, Fred. He had a long and a short target. He threw it right in the middle where Dennis was sitting.
Yeah, that's called the high-low, and he threw it right in the middle.
High-low. He split it perfectly. I don't know if he's confused or just.
All right, Matt, let's see if we can get this kickoff. Hopefully they can get this hold worked out. Snap and the hold. We need to get snap and the hold.
Just a well-executed extra point. We had him up to this. We jinxed him. We said that he hadn't missed any in this game. They've not gotten a good one, a good clean one. That one looks like a clean snap. They didn't even come after it, but not the best kick in the world. I think Matthew was waiting for a bad snap.
He barely got the ball off the line of scrimmage. He didn't have his toe down.
Nope.
That's the kicking coach in me. I was just looking at his impact. His foot was up at impact. His toe was up.
Somehow with 4 scores there, we're still right where we should be with the 28 if we would have made all the extra points. Correct. So picking up a few 2-point conversions with Dreadnaughts leading again 28-0 against the American Collegiate Academy Pioneers.
Thank you, FHS.
And we've been blessed with a little bit better weather and actually not as muggy as I thought it was going to be. I thought it
isn't. It says turned out to be a nice night for football. What do you think, Isaac? Good night for football, isn't it, bud? This is the kind of weather you want. You don't want it to be hot. You don't want it to be too hot and muggy. It's cooling off nicely.
Dreadnaughts well in control of this one here just midway through the second quarter. And one more, Fred, and we got the old runner again. Got the old running clock again if we get
I think so,
one more
Tim.
before half.
You know what that means, don't you? I might not be hanging out for too long.
You might not need to. Oh,
I have a tradition. I got to stick to it.
A lot of time on the clock. 7:12. Don't take off too early. Let's see. Number 11 is going to get it again at the 14-yard line and full head of steam. But boy, had some. A little bit of a nope. Don't throw it back. Don't throw it back. Little frustration. They didn't throw a flag either. They didn't see it. And thankfully, Finley Graham did not respond, or else they would have saw him. It's always that second guy, right, that they see.
It's always the second guy. So he did a good job just staying in control.
Get him back on the field,
Coach Denson's
Finley.
talking to him a little bit.
Yeah, just
27-yard line.
get it back on the field. Just a little frustration
Just
jab
going to calm
thrown.
him down a little bit. He got sucker punched.
Yeah, he did. Not defense. Again, now through 5.5 quarters, not scored upon in the regular season. As you said, can't really count that kickoff scoring as we had the second and third team defense in. New quarterback, their wild version of the Wildcat.
Wow, look at this.
Yeah, he takes off. Gets
big hit.
Banged.
Big hit.
Kevon Lee on the carry.
Crunched at the 34.
Who hit him? Was that Jalen?
I'm not sure who that was on the outside.
I think it was Jalen.
It's either Jalen or Zay, one of the two.
It was one of the DBs from DB High.
By Michael Herbs.
Who did they say? It's a good hit.
It was a good hit. I think it was Jalen.
They said Michael Worlds, number 15 maybe.
Play game 7
Good
yards,
shot
brings
regardless.
up
7-yard pickup though. Wildcat again.
A
Toss,
little
nice
outside tap, little scat back.
Lost his shoe. Looked like it was a flag there, a yellow shoe.
Kevon Lee's pass is complete to Darius Bryant.
Maybe a little first down couple plays for the Pioneers.
I think he got a little movement. Interesting. If he can get the ball into the athlete's hands, they can make a play. The hard part is he just doesn't have time to get it off.
6 yards results in a Pioneers first down.
Is a first down. Moving
Will
chains.
has been running for his life.
Tip of the ball at the 40, so Kevon
Looks like we got
Lee,
the Wildcat now.
Yeah, they're good, skilled players been in at quarterback so far. Has ran one, threw one, and now handed off. He's doing everything a quarterback does.
Kevon Franklin on the carry, tackled by Shawn Smith.
I'm starting to notice the offensive line walk back to the huddle, and they're doing a lot of walking, and usually when that happens, it's the beginning of the end.
Second down and 7. There is an official water second quarter timeout, and we'll take a timeout as well here and be back with you in just a few moments.
This Tuesday night.
Regal Lakeland, one of our great sponsors. You saw Brad Smith previously. And good hometown support again for the Dreadnaughts. There's a little something happening here with Kevon Lee in the quarterback spot. Direct snap that time on the keeper. And at least they're picking up positive yards. They're making our defense work a little bit here. Champ with the tackle for the Dreadnaughts.
4 yards.
They're picking up positive yards, Fred.
They are.
Third down now.
Well, this little change in their Wildcat, sometimes it just it can provide a little bit of a spark. You got athletes back there, and then this happens. A little sack, and he still throws it. Oh, my goodness.
That's probably a heads-up play right there. They're saying he was kind of in the grasp, so to speak, but still moving around back there. They gave him the incomplete pass, which saved about 10 yards.
Their coach is doing everything they can. You know, he's trying to put the ball in the hands of his athletes and give them the very best chance to be successful. Obviously, the pocket passer, Will, tremendous athlete, 6'3", 220. He's a great athlete. Quarterback's not the problem, but he's trying to put the ball in the hands of the athletes at this point, see what can happen. And it's created a little bit of a spark. But still, it's fourth down and
they're going to try it, though, and why not again? Down 28-0. Fourth down and 3 yards. They spread the field. Let's see if Kevon keeps it himself. Tries to get it. Defense needs to stiffen up if they want to stop this one. It is going to be a keeper by number 11. Grab down and chuck. Number 96 first on the scene, Rayshawn Glinton. And then just mopped up by Shawn Smith and a host of Naughts. Tough pursuit by the Dreadnaughts. Glinton leading the way for the turnover on downs. Dreadnaughts plenty of time with over 5 minutes to work their magic on offense in a short field.
The Dreadnaughts take over first down and 10.
College football officially underway this weekend. Last week, of course, Florida, Miami, the first official game, but now everyone in playing their first game. A few minor changes with the Hurricanes, some things going on, but
high formation, traditional offensive scheme. Let's see what happens here.
See if they can get DeMarcus in a flow. No, Mason Martin drives back
to
and
number
chucks
10
it to
deep.
The speedster. Man-to-man
Oh,
coverage.
good hands. Look at that.
And touchdown. Boy, just well-played ball. I mean, he calmly kept running down the field, was looking back, and the defender was not looking at all.
That was a great play.
And
Great play by the receiver.
Just caught it, not panicked. Nothing there, just made a good reception.
And Tim, that was an offset eye, and usually, and I thought about that right before the ball was snapped. And in the offset eye, that's usually our run and our pass play set. And the reason that the fullback is offset to the tailback is for blocking reasons. And so when I saw that offset eye, I thought, well, you know what? In the old days, we used to pass off that set, and sure enough, it was a passing play.
You see Arian Smith right there, the very talented wide receiver, who's making a name for himself quickly here on this roster and getting some attention for his not just running ability.
That was an athletic move.
Catch,
Mason threw it up there. Wasn't a perfect pass, but that right there was all Arian.
Yeah.
That was all Arian. He hesitated and waited, and boy, he's just got some great hands. How he saw that thing in there.
It looks like he's got that smooth, just kind of touch too. So not only is he gliding, but when it comes to him, it doesn't look hard. It just looks
a great receiver just kind of sucks that ball and he absorbs it right into his hands. He's all fingers. Good receivers are all fingers as they catch that pass.
Why not? 2-point conversion to DeMarcus Bowman.
The Dreadnaughts scoring recap is brought to you by Southern Homes.
Quite a nice little,
quick
scoring pop for the Knots.
We're up 36-0, and it doesn't even feel like we've had a great night.
No,
Isn't that weird? I mean, so again, talented, but not perfect tonight.
And that was probably the case last week because Coach told me that they didn't execute 100%, but we were able to win 45-0.
We almost look.
This is kind of scary that we can be playing not perfectly, but be up like we are. It's kind of scary. A lot of athletes on that field, on our side, and then their side, truthfully. Got to give the Pioneers kudos. They got a lot. They got athletes. They just don't have a lot of depth, and they've got no line of scrimmage. I'm repeating it because it's true.
Yeah, it's what you see. Well, that took all of 20 seconds off the clock. That exchange right there. We're still over 5 minutes, and that's not too far from where we started when the Knots had the ball. So we are past that magical 35-point, unless the Pioneers score here. Coaches will probably get together and decide whether that should be a running clock or not. Number 11 catches it at the 13, switches fields.
Gets in pursuit. Good.
And gets hit hard.
Nice hit.
And pushed out of bounds. Nice idea. I mean, you can try to reverse your field and create some space, but number 11, Caldwell, just ran into the Knots special teams, who is phenomenal.
Run out of bounds by Jalen Christian.
It's fun to fly down there and just
the Pioneers take over
headhunt a little bit
from their own 16-yard line.
I was the kicker, obviously, on our kickoff team, and whenever I didn't kick it deep into the end zone, I always wanted to fly to the football and try and make the tackle. Used to frustrate Coach. He'd say, you're our safety. I said, Coach, I can't be our safety. I'm having too much fun. I don't get a chance to be on the field very often. I got to try to make a play if I don't kick it deep.
So did you intentionally not kick it deep sometimes?
There were a few occasions where I did not kick it deep on purpose, to be honest with you. I wanted to get in there and mix it up a little bit.
Poor snap. Number 2 dropped it, picks it up,
bobble
and still tried to run right up the middle. And
Kevon Lee on the keeper.
Kevon Lee.
When you're a place kicker on a championship level team, you don't get on the field that often. So you want to come up with some reasons to make some plays and feel like a football player.
I wanted to get some marks on my helmet.
I can understand that. Makes sense to me. Dreadnaughts well in control here. You're joining us, or just have joined us. Again, not a perfect game by the Knots. Maybe some surprising plays. Had 2 chances for the defense to score tonight. One was called back, but we did get
our defensive backs seem to be playing true to form.
Yeah,
they're tight. Good coverage
again. Trying to make things happen on his own with.
Number 7.
Woo. There he is, Shawn Smith. Met him. He met him hard.
Kevon doing a pretty good job of avoiding some of the tackles there, but just sooner or later you're going to get popped.
You know, I was talking to Isaac, and he says that these kids nowadays and this Dreadnought team, they're lanky. He said they're tall and they're lanky, and he goes, and that's what a lot of college recruits like nowadays. Is they like tall. They look almost like basketball players. They're and if you look at them, it's true. They're tall. They got long legs and long arms. They're very lanky, athletic looking, and they can make plays.
I guess they can make plays. They're mobile, and then they figure at the college level, if they need to, they can put a little weight on them or do what they need to.
You can always fill them up.
Yeah, that's for sure.
The training table. We got some good commercials, don't we?
Yeah,
we got some great corporate commercials.
4:24 left in this contest here.
Shout out to Steve Madden and Jill Beavis and just the rest of the board, and just the creativity of the Jumbotron and what that's meant to the football program, and bringing on the corporate sponsors like we have. It's kind of like if you build it, they will come, and it's true to form. Fantastic job.
Woo,
looked like he wanted to hum it.
He was getting ready to chuck it, but bodies come flying in. He didn't have a chance to let that ball go. This is the first regular season game here at Bryant Stadium. We had the kickoff classic against Kissimmee Osceola, where we did a fantastic job there. But our first regular season game against Manatee was away, and 45-0 was the score. Kind of marching towards that same kind of performance tonight.
Play lost 4 yards.
4-yard loss on that play. And next week, we are away again there, Fred Lopez, to, I believe, George Jenkins.
Yep, on the road against George Jenkins. Should be interesting.
Not too long of a jaunt down South Lakeland.
The Mosquito Stadium. I've never been bit by mosquitoes more than that stadium. You go down into that pit, into that
lion. Yeah,
it's just swampy, and those mosquitoes they're huge.
They just stay there and cultivate them, and they just keep growing. It's like mosquito farm. It's late flag.
You got to remember to bring insect repellent to a football game.
Looks like it's going to be on the Pioneers, and they're already in a big hole. Maybe a chance for Finley Graham and or Kendall Dennis to get.
He'll be marked off half the distance to the goal. Brings up 4th down and 18.
Oh, this could get ugly quick. 4th and 18. And again, movement. You can't back him up much more. They might call that on us, though. I don't know. Let's see. Nope, it's them. Half the distance again. Pushing back, way back. Poor punter's going to hanging out around the back goal line there, and the Dreadnaughts are coming.
Looks like they're coming.
Finley Graham's at the 35. Not expecting the punter's going to have much time, if he does, to get it off.
Yeah. Him and Kendall they're weapons back there. Well, you got Finley. I mean, if you mess up and kick it to Kendall, I think he's just as effective. Yeah, either one of those guys have the potential to take it to the house.
Not a good situation for the Pioneers. He's gonna just catch and kick quick.
My goodness, there it is. My goodness, barely got it off. They just can't. They don't have any special teams.
Yeah,
man,
out of bounds inside the 20. I think around the 16-yard line, somewhere in there.
Wow.
I was gonna say we know that he wasn't gonna have time. I would have put one of them up around the 20, just knowing that he's probably not gonna have time to get it off. But still,
kind of like a short fielder in softball.
Absolutely,
just put him up there.
Bring him in. Over 3 minutes still left. They have not.
That's where coach is just he's very, very staunchly traditional, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Is brought to you by Highland Homes, your Florida home builder.
Mason Martin set with Jakari Martin. DeMarcus Bowman's off to the left, actually. Blocking. Let's see if he gets into play. Setting a man across motion. They do hand off, so Bowman blocks.
Yep.
And plenty of room to the outside. I think that's
nice run.
Nice
touchdown.
run for a
Looks
touchdown.
like a touchdown, wasn't it?
Reggie Cummings
got pushed out at the 1-yard line.
Flag at the 12-yard line, though.
Flag on the play.
Looks like it might be in holding territory. Yeah. It's going against the Dreadnaughts. Yeah, holding.
It's weird, kind of a good play developing, but both of us sense like it's not going to happen. Like it's not going to count. I just kind of felt like they're going to get a flag there.
Is holding against the Dreadnaughts.
I think one of our players I saw maybe a grab and throw down a little bit more than was necessary. That's what they called. So ball placed back at the 23. Still first down and plenty of time.
Second down and 16.
They're going to send Arian out to the far side, man-to-man coverage out there. This is that spot that Mason can throw that beautiful kind of corner pattern. He hands off, though, to...
it looked like it was a face mask of some sort.
Reggie got
his head got
just turned around.
Tackled by James Powell.
Maybe he just grabbed the back of his helmet and turned his head around, but that kind of went down funny and lost
2 yards.
Lost 2.
In situations like this, wouldn't be surprised if coach tries to make a throw to the end zone.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised.
So I was saying that kind of corner route, he usually likes to throw it right here about between the 25 and 30-yard line.
Is it second down? He said third down, but I think it's
second.
Yeah, there
you
go. Second down. Coach called timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's trying. He usually is in a situation like this. He's itching to score right before halftime. He doesn't want to mess. He doesn't want to play around in this drive right here. He wants to get it in, get some points.
Rallying the troops. We'll take a brief commercial. The Dreadnaughts leading 36-0. Be right back with you to finish the second quarter.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
Smith, Fedler, and Smith. Again, a fantastic sponsor. There was just an announcement made that normally that meeting, the Booster Club meeting that Coach Castle hosts on Monday night, of course, will be canceled.
Yep.
So they're going to lock, the school won't be open at all, so do not come for that meeting this week. It will not be happening Monday night. If you like to see Coach Castle, as Mason Martin again drops back, pump fakes once, and then throws it wide open, number 10, beautifully caught and pass. That's the play we said, right?
That's it.
We said that exact play.
That's the play.
I mean, he was just too juicy. He was right in the exact spot.
Coach is just
coverage.
He had an itch. He just had to scratch.
I
just know him. I know him. He's got to score some points. He does not want to go into halftime without scoring some points.
He wouldn't have been on the sleep tonight if he didn't do that play. He didn't try.
And he wanted to throw the ball. And that little hesitation, that little hitch and go. Woo! Nice, beautiful.
And it just stopped that cornerback just for that second, and then Arians
make him
easily
hesitate.
Just drop
Boy,
right
that was a nice throw by Mason.
Threw it right to the
spot. Now that time,
right?
I'm going to say that went because of Mason.
Absolutely,
that was a perfect throw.
He threw it to the spot that you had to throw it to, wide open, and extra point. Look good. That's what we needed. That was the first
good job.
Clean extra point we've had tonight.
And that's the way they started out doing it all year. So that's good. Good job.
It is a kind of a rhythm thing. You score, you set up, you line up, and you fire it away. And everything was in rhythm right there as the Dreadnaughts tack another 7 on the board. Look at Matthew. Looks like a it's like a nice looking young man. That's what we'll just say. He looks young.
And the American Collegiate Pioneers.
They all look younger now to us, though.
These players, they either look really young or I feel really old.
Yeah, right.
We do have a little gray on the beards.
Yeah, that's right. A little.
I know.
A little. Anyways, that's good. Good stuff here at Bryant Stadium tonight.
I look at the stands, I look at the field, and it seems like just yesterday we were students out here having fun.
I know it, right?
But man, it's been a long time.
It has been.
What a tradition.
When you start counting them by decades.
Yes. I think we got our 30-year reunion coming up.
It's not too far off.
Woo! Can't believe I just said that.
Yep. 43-0. Just 2 points shy of last week's total before halftime.
Nice kick.
Yeah.
See, that's a confidence kick there.
Nice high kick. Oh, bobbled, hit, and out of the chest. Number 6 breaks one. Oh, nice little hitch and go move.
The athlete.
That run.
He might. Yeah, he might.
Poor
Let's see what we do here.
Matthew slowed him down just
he got
enough.
Him. Hey. Oh, look at here. That ain't right.
Yeah, what is that?
That ain't right.
Giving him the business.
That
there
ain't
we go.
right. There ain't right.
Flags.
You know who made the tackle on that play? Matt, the kicker. He held him up. He held him up, and he made room.
That's what he said. He just got in his way.
He made him hesitate
to divert him.
I'm going to give Matt the credit on that tackle. Good job, Matt. Way to hang in there and be brave. And then that unsportsmanlike was just uncalled for, the way that player brought him down. You don't need to be doing that. But they're frustrated. They're getting beat by a lot of points. And this is where I always like to say the game at this point is no fun to watch.
Yep.
Injuries, you gotta hope that the referees can take control of the game, get the running clock going, and let this thing be over.
Well, that'll push them back into their own territory. They had a nice run back, but that foolishness got them pushed back to the 45. Well, they'll just have 2 minutes to work, and the defense will try to prevent that from working. Someone's got to get on number 11 out there. They finally send a man in late. He was out there all by himself. Number 2, who is a great athlete, Kevon Lee, still in. He's going to keep it himself up the middle. Nice spin move. And they've made some plays, but not there. He's going to lose 3 yards.
So, Tim, I know we're going to interview 2 former really, really good athletes and some state championship players. But, in summary, I'll tell you real quick from my point of view is we've scored 131 points in 2.5 games. Wow. It's not been perfect, but we've scored 131 points in 2.5 games. We've given up only 20 that we really didn't give up. It wasn't our starters.
Yep.
Oh. So that says a lot right there. That's my take.
There's a flag for intentional grounding.
Yeah.
There was nobody except the 290-pound number 73 in the area.
That's it.
For
they're
Pioneers
they're an impressive bunch to watch at this point, and I think they're only going to gel, and they're going to get up for the bigger games. I think they'll continue to execute, refine their skills. They'll mesh on offense. Coach will have them dialed in. The key for the rest of this game is get the starters out and let's eliminate the risk of injury.
Mm-hmm. Got a nice little workout for a half.
Hasn't been a big Bowman night, but it didn't need to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not every game he's going to go coast to coast, 4 or 5 times. Well, that's okay. But we got so much diversification.
I was saying,
there's a lot of diversified skill out there on that field now. I'm using a little financial planning word. There's a lot of diversification
by offense. The portfolio looks well positioned. Let's put it that way.
So there's a lot of asset classes out there.
We could go all night with that. Nice little screen pass, but it didn't fool anybody.
Oh, number 7.
My word, what a play by
stout.
number 7. That was beautiful by Shawn Smith.
That looked like Isaac Jackson.
SOS. Shawn Smith just came.
That was a great play by Shawn Smith. Very athletic young man.
But what you were saying is very valid.
He's got a lot of confidence.
Fred, in that. So every team knows about DeMarcus Bowman. They know they have to account for where he is, key on him.
Yep.
Which opens up everybody else.
I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound a little bit strange, but it's true. Until we get into big games, he's almost not going to count much.
No,
you're going to see Coach mix it up. He's going to put the ball in a bunch of athletes' different hands.
It counts.
But when we get into this, when we start later in the season and the district games, when it counts, you'll see Bowman start to really hone in, and the offense will just gather around him because he's clearly the playmaker. But number 10, I'm telling you, Arian Smith, and there's a handful of those backs now with that misdirection offense and the counter plays. Their coach is going to put it in the hands of different players.
High snap, another kind of pooch kick. See if it takes one hop and checks up for the Knots with 17 seconds left.
It's going to keep more defenses honest. Which, when coach does want to utilize Bowman, now he's going to be going up against a more balanced defense that's not keying in on him.
Yeah.
You clearly can't put 8-9 guys in the box against us right now.
No,
we'll make you pay.
Again, just an observation. I think Finley Graham and Dennis were just too far back. They know that this kid can't kick very good, and so I would have put at least one of them, bring them way up. But I understand, hard to break from tradition here.
We got offense with 17 seconds left.
I don't know.
We still can score. This is crazy, but I wouldn't count it out. Coach might go deep again. He's got nothing to lose.
He's got number 10 out here.
I wouldn't be surprised if he tries. I don't know if he's going to kneel down or not.
Mason Martin, let's see what he does. He's going to drop back. He's going to hand off to Bowman. That Bowman looks like he's got a head of steam and basically cuts back outside. DeMarcus Bowman going to stiff arm down. He gets out of bounds with 8 seconds left at the 2-yard line.
It's a great example of utilizing Bowman when nobody really thinks he's going to get the ball. That looked like it was going to be a pass play.
And again, I don't mean.
And when he runs, he makes it look easy.
Yeah, and I don't mean to harp on DeMarcus, but even him, he doesn't look like his best tonight running. I mean, he's still phenomenal, but he's having some stumbles and picking some avenues that he maybe doesn't pick normally, and just he looks a little off for him, but still great. Which is, again, like you said, scary as he gets the ball to the right side and easily
look
scores.
At that. Like he makes
side
that
steps.
It doesn't look like a big play, but he scored. And he had to run to get there.
The cannon puller's having fun tonight. Whoever does that deal is loading it up.
I knew it. With 17 seconds left, with the offense we have, and the way that they're just kind of demoralized. See, when their players are limping off the field right now, I knew that coach was going to go for the juggler again. 17 seconds. That's a lot of time for Coach Castle. It really is.
And there's no time on the clock, but he can't end when we have an extra point. So we're going to try to make it 50, an even half-century mark here.
Well, we're up to 138 points now for this season.
My.
If he makes this extra point.
Let's see, good clean snap. They had number 10 jump the gun, I believe. Winston Gibson was way early on that. I mean, he was already to the kicker before we snapped it almost. Hey, kudos for trying. Just the little victories at this point.
Timeout, Pioneers.
Timeout?
I don't know what in the world.
As we said, strangely, curious timeout with no time on the clock and just an extra point to go. Maybe it's a very coachable moment that we didn't see somewhere. Decent amount of students out here. A lot of boosters maybe decided to hang low.
Yep.
Tonight.
Little hurricane preparedness.
Yeah, they're the ones that have to prepare. The kids are still wild and willy.
Right.
Like, what hurricane?
The kids are oblivious. They're just thinking, hey, we don't have to go to school.
Yeah, that's just
They're having fun.
It's a gift for them. Normal Friday night action. We'll reset this thing and get you to a fantastic, highly anticipated interview or two with Fred and a couple Dreadnought faithful stars. Neat to hear always how good snap high and block. Number 10 did get it. So they kept us from getting the 50. Boy, he wanted that.
The Dreadnought scoring recap is brought to you by Southern Home.
49, we'll take it, I guess.
49, we'll take it.
The Dreadnought scoring drive.
Not too bad at all.
137 points.
137 to reset it. As we said, the Dreadnoughts, pretty nice job here. Not perfect, but tons of skill all over the field and some really nicely thrown balls by Mason Martin.
Absolutely.
And some athletic catches by number 10. And Reggie Keller made a couple nice runs. A good defensive play by Dennis. Finley Graham played well, even though that one got called back. Just, again, when we start calling all these names, as you said, the diversification over the field is just too strong.
It's almost too many to mention.
Yeah. Goes on and on
offense and defense. Yep. I mean, what we're seeing is a total team effort, Tim.
Yep. Anchorettes coming out in the field right now. We're going to watch the Anchorettes, do one quick commercial, and then Fred's going to set up to do a couple little interviews. So we'll let you watch the Anchorettes, maybe send it to commercial, and then we'll be back for the halftime show with Fred Lopez and a couple Dreadnought superstars of years gone by.
That's it. Where is she? Huh?
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
One of the most important things that we do is actually sit down and take the time to have a good understanding, having a customer that maybe is opening another location and to help them either secure another piece of property. Whenever our customers are successful, we feel successful as well. And just being able to share in that process is a great experience, and that's why we do what we do.
Growing up in Florida, I've always enjoyed exploring the lakes, rivers, bays, and the Gulf. But when entering unfamiliar waters, I do best when guided by a local expert. No one knows the way like they do. Likewise, when you get hurt on the job, you may need help to navigate state and federal laws that protect you and your family. If you find yourself in unfamiliar or troubled waters, hire an expert guide. Hire Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Oh, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Every customer that walks through our doors, they have hopes, dreams, plans that they want to execute in their lives, and we are a facilitator to help them accomplish those dreams. I think we should never lose sight of the fact that we are a trusted advisor to our clients, which allows us to really formulate a relationship with an entire family that spans generations, and it's frankly something that brings the most satisfaction to what we do every day.
Okay, Dreadnought fans, we're good? Okay, Dreadnought fans, this is a special treat. We usually talk about the highlights of the game of the first half, but tonight I've got Isaac Jackson and Casey Anderson joining us. Isaac was on the 99 state. Isaac was on the 96 and the 99 state championship team, and Casey was on the 96 state championship team, and he graduated in 98. I'm going to interview both of these guys, and I just want you to hear from them. These guys, so I taught at Lakeland before I retired from teaching and coaching. I taught at Lakeland the 97, 98, and 99 years, and in all 3 years we went undefeated in the regular season, lost 2 games in the playoffs in 97 and 98, and then won the state championship in 99. But we could have easily run the table all for 4 years in a row. And a lot of times, you know, we think about the Chris Rainey era, but the 96 through 99 teams were fantastic teams as part of the Dreadnought history. But this is Isaac Jackson. He's one of my favorite former students and players. And I wanted to ask you, Isaac, what do you think about this team this year so far?
Oh, man, this team is awesome. Reminds me of the old days. I'm very excited about this team. Number one, I have a family member out there. I have a cousin out there, Jalen Christian. He comes from a long line of Dreadnaughts, starting with my brother, Robert Jackson, my cousin, Rod Smart, then myself. Then Chris Rainey, Rodney Watson, now him. So he's come from a long line of Dreadnaughts, and it's his time. So I'm very happy.
You said something to me yesterday when we were talking about this team being lanky and some of these. What do you tell them about the athleticism that you're seeing?
Well, these guys are very long. They're very tall and very athletic. You know, they're not only can they play football, but most of these guys, they can play basketball, and they're very good players. Every sport they play, they're very good players. They're very athletic, and they stand out. So even on the football field, I'm so happy to see these guys do their thing.
Okay, I got to ask you, what are some good memories from when you played ball?
I
know you can talk all day, so
just being with you is one of my great memories.
I appreciate that. Well, I think the feeling is mutual. So, what are just one or two memories that come to mind from back in the day when you were with your boys?
Well, you know, the thing that I don't think the fans know is the ride to Bryant Stadium. That ride from Bryant Stadium where everybody's, you know, quiet and everybody's putting their mind in, getting their mind on the game. And the moment we hit that parking lot of Bryant Stadium, we just took off and everybody was excited. The adrenaline started pumping, and you start seeing the fans. You hear the band, you know it's time to play.
What kind of player were you, Isaac?
I like to consider.
Tell the truth. Come on.
You know, I'm real modest with mine. So I was a pretty good player. I was happy.
Tell the fans what you played.
I played linebacker.
Outside linebacker.
I played outside linebacker, a little bit of everything. So I was a pretty good player. You know, I was an exciting player, if you will.
I want to tell you, Isaac was in on just about every tackle. If it was in the interior of the defense, he was on it. Trust me.
Well,
him and Chauncey Clark. I got to throw Chauncey Clark in there.
You know what? That was the only person I couldn't beat to the ball because he was so fast. I used to get mad at Chauncey.
Tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, and then I want to get Casey in there.
Okay, right now I'm currently in law enforcement. I'm a police lieutenant. One thing about Lakeland, we have that tradition of winning. Not only do we win on the football field, we also win in life. So we winning in life by staying successful and, keep doing what we're doing in our career. So that's what I'm doing. Before I go, though, I want to give a shout-out to my daughter, Cameron Jackson, my wife, my son, who's a big baseball player, and my daughter, Jordan. But that's what I'm doing. So being with the family is the best.
And Dreadnought fans, what he says he's doing right now, that's what me as a teacher and coach, that's all I care about. So my heart is fulfilled that these guys not only excel on the football field, but grow up to be good community, God-fearing citizens, and that's what life's all about.
I'm still trying to beat you in golf.
You're the man, Nick. You got it. Thank you, buddy.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it. All right, turn it over to Casey. So look at this good-looking guy right here. This is Casey Anderson. Played on the 96 state championship team.
Absolutely.
So, Casey, what years were you at Lakeland?
I was at Lakeland. I started in 95, freshman. I played JV, moved up to varsity.
Yep.
Had some tough lumps with Galashaw and Keith Price back in my freshman year.
You played with some hard-hitting guys, didn't you?
Yeah. Deshaun Walker, they brought me along very quickly.
And you were and you started on the state championship team as a sophomore, right?
As a sophomore, 10th grader, 15 years old.
Free safety.
Free safety, yes, sir.
Yep. So, again, what do you think of this team here so far?
This team is loaded. It's very exciting to come out here each and every week to actually see these guys play. I mean, from top to bottom, they got probably about 8 defensive backs that rotate in regularly.
DB high.
I love it. I love watching the guys. Jalen Christian, number 6, 23.
And you being a
Dennis.
defensive back, you can appreciate that.
I love them.
We haven't been this loaded probably with so many players in a long time.
They got 11, number 3. Number 2, you just name it. They all rotate, so it's pretty impressive to watch these guys.
I'm calling us the 6'2 defense because they all look like they're 6'2.
They are huge. Back when I was playing, I was probably 5'10 maybe and 150 pounds.
Yep.
These guys are men.
And he was a very, very good football player. And for those of us that played that were 5'10", 5'11", we were all strong because of the weight room program.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
All of us were bench pressing 230, 240, 250, 260. Some of us, Isaac, what were you benching your senior year?
He's probably about
320. What about you, Casey?
I was only at 285. I never
285.
I
never
got
could
the
get past
while I was
250.
here.
But
I
that's
didn't get
not
the
bad
3
for
until I
place
went to
kicker.
college.
I'll take that. All right. So you had what were some great memories? What's 1 or 2 takeaways from your?
Oh man, I have so many. I mean,
a good one. One good one.
I'm gonna give you a lot.
Okay.
All right.
Go for it.
Well, actually, I miss it because the guys, we were all so close. We had a good time every Friday night.
Yep.
We were well prepared. The coaching staff, you guys prepared us well on throughout the week.
Yep.
We practiced hard, and we came out and gave it all we had, and we had a lot of success on the field. So it was great.
You guys made us look good. Tell them you guys made us look good.
You guys prepared us.
We did the work to prepare you, no doubt. But the athletes, listen, coaches get the blame, athletes get the credit, right? That's how it is.
We had a lot of fun. Me and this guy, I could never get tackles. I mean, Chauncey Clark, as you mentioned.
Yeah, your only saving grace was maybe an interception every now and then.
Isaac Jackson, they were getting all the tackles.
They were the front 7 they were beasts. All right. You have a great family. You're loaded. Tell us a little bit about your wife, your lovely wife, and your girls, and what you're doing now. Because what you're doing now is what's more important than anything.
Absolutely. Well, now I'm married. I've been married for about 12 years. My anniversary is actually on Monday. My birthday is tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm married to Melissa. Melissa is a fantastic young lady. I couldn't ask for a better wife. We have 4 beautiful daughters.
Unbelievable.
Our youngest daughter is actually 9 months, and that's Miss Ariana. We have Amaya, which is my oldest. I know I skipped around. Very proud of her because she's actually dancing tonight.
Her. She was an anchorette,
yeah,
right?
she's an anchorette.
Beautiful,
so she
right
did
in the
well
center of the
tonight.
field.
And then my 2 middle daughters, I have Aaliyah and Alana. So I'm loaded with girls. I was trying to get a boy on that last one, but it didn't quite work. But I got some anchorettes.
You got some anchorettes. I had cheerleaders. I had 3 girls, and now I've got 2 granddaughters and a grandson. So I'm a girl guy. I always tell people I'm a girl guy. I'm all for girl power.
Yeah, but I love it though. I couldn't ask for a better family. I mean, I'm just happy to be here. Thank you for having me. You know, I love coming back, always supporting my Knots. I mean, this is a great atmosphere, and it hasn't changed. So,
folks,
it's great.
What you're witnessing with Casey and Isaac coming back and speaking at 7 state championships. These guys were a part of a few of them themselves. I was a part of one in '86, and then as a coach in '99. This is what Dreadnought tradition is all about. This is what keeps us going. This is what keeps us in the limelight. That's exactly right. The L, right?
We throw up the L.
There you go. Throw up the L.
Dontrell Stills.
Dontrell, there you go.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife, Robin. I love you.
Ms.
Catherine,
Lopez.
Ms. Lopez. There you go.
Yeah.
Catherine, Ashley, Emily, my grandbabies, John Luke.
I want to give a shout out to Coach Taylor.
Oh,
that's
right.
my guy.
Do it.
I love Coach Taylor. Coach
I think
Taylor.
Coach Short's listening
Coach
in too.
Short, you guys, I love you guys. You guys helped us become men. Not only, helped us on the football field, but you taught us a lot of great qualities. A lot of the qualities that you guys taught us during the years, they have developed us into men that we are today. Teamwork. Where are you going to learn that? You need it everywhere in the world.
You need it everywhere you go.
Exactly. So, I mean, learning it here on the field. Thank you guys. Thank you, coaches. We love you guys. Always represent the L.
Well, Dreadnought fans, I think that wraps up our halftime show. Tim will be joining me shortly, and we'll pick it up, and hopefully we can have a running clock and get this game over with.
Absolutely. Go Knots.
Go Knots.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Agnini Family Dental truly is a family of doctors. We strive to give our patients a patient-first dental experience. Our goal at Agnini Family Dental is to provide our patients with the highest level of comprehensive dental care and prevention. Every member of our team promises to put the needs and concerns of every patient first in every aspect of their dental care. Our family of doctors take a tooth-conservative approach to restorative dentistry with a special focus on sedation dentistry, implant dentistry, and orthodontics. Call to schedule your appointment today and let our family of doctors change the way you look at dentistry.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
Whether they're adjusters or nurse case managers, let's be clear. They're still agents for an insurance company. You have rights when you're injured on the job. This includes your right to privacy with your doctor. Don't allow insurance agents to hijack your medical exams. You don't know if they're manipulating your doctor's recommendations, which can harm your case and put you at a disadvantage. Protect yourself and your family. Call us and stand up for your legal rights. Smith, Fedler & Smith. Justice for all.
Back up in the press box to round out the halftime show, and Fred Lopez. One of the most exciting things for me is then I want to go back and watch that interview.
Oh, it was great.
So
it really was.
Those are fun for me because it's kind of like all new. I didn't get to hear it, so I'll get to hear it first.
Well, when you're dealing with talent, all you got to do is just ask a few questions, or if you're coaching, you just tell them what to do and then let them go.
You're the Mason Martin of the press box. You just got to kind of
let them go.
Just deal off to the skilled players.
That's it. That was Mason.
That's good stuff. Well, the Dreadnaughts, certainly we've seen our share of good plays tonight. And, again, it's weird, like you said, there's something that's not clicking yet, but they're still revving up that engine. But it's like when it comes, you're going to be like, whoa.
Right.
I mean, because it's there. But that's natural stuff in the early part of the season, but still further along than they normally are. So a lot to be excited about.
I think so, Tim. And you know what? They shouldn't be clicking right now because it's too early.
Supposed to be, yeah.
They shouldn't be.
Second game really
but for them to be, for us to have 187 points, I mean, this is crazy.
Crazy.
It's amazing to watch them play. They're going to develop. The defense is coming along. They're stout. The defense's problem is this: they get a little overconfident every now and then, and they want to take a break.
Yeah.
But when they feel like tightening up, they can tighten it up.
Yep. And that's good to know. I always say it's fun you start looking at the scores early on like this, and then when you think about printing the T-shirt up, how that looks so good with the zeros, the big scores and the zeros.
It's 137 points. I got emotional and said we've put up 137 points, which is a lot of points. My goodness,
it's a boatload. And again, when you look at it, it's not just one player, two players. It's shared across 4 or 5 different players.
It really is. And Casey and them, they'll say they said the same thing I said. When the timing is right, when the game is right, you'll see Bowman step up.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think he's going to make a lot of big plays along the way. Yep. It's just there's a lot of weapons, and Coach doesn't want to wear him out, I'm sure.
Yeah. And so we're obviously privileged to have you Fred, here. We didn't want people to think. Jeff just has some work obligations again, just kind of hit him 2 weeks in a row, and he'll be back. And we're going to kind of substitute some people.
I'm a permanent sub is what I am. I love to be here.
I'm going to be out some. I'm doing a couple things, so we'll have Fred step in with Jeff probably. It's going to probably be a little mixed match, but we'll bring you the action, and it's great to have you here. And Michael's our consistent one who shows up and puts all the gear up, and his crew
what
is
a blessing.
Awesome. Yeah, right? And to have them and put on such a top-class show, and then you've got the whole Dreadnaught family and the whole Friday Night Live action, and it's a lot of fun. So thanks again for joining us as we get set for this second half, and we believe it's going to be a running clock. Coaches, I'm sure, got together and said, let's let that thing go.
Running clock and backups.
And we'll see what happens. Those backups still going to the starter said, hey, keep that 0 up there as long as you can. They don't want to let that go, so we'll see how long
they're talking to their coaches right now saying, Coach, I want to get in on some of the series, but
the scary thing is they've got enough skilled players to do what Kissimmee kind of did and put up some of those, not false points, but points that otherwise may have not.
Yeah, you'll see phantom points is what we call them. But you'll probably see that in the second half, especially if we put some of our backups in there. I wouldn't be surprised if they get 1, 2, maybe 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
But you never know. Maybe they'll shut them down.
Yep, I agree. So we'll turn around and get set. The players are on the field for the second half action here at Bryant Stadium, Bill Castle Field. Second regular season game. 2019 campaign, and just about done with the month of August. September right around the corner, and is going to apparently come in Central Florida with a bang here with something churning out there in the Atlantic.
I think that storm is going to be a slow soaker from what the
take its sweet old
the
time.
News is saying. Yeah, it's taking its time.
Just dump. We shall see, but hang in there and help each other.
Hopefully it tracks more north.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Not sure.
Bit of an odd side kick that's going to go out of bounds.
That was a
funky one.
It's a toe kick, and they continue. It's evident that they continue to struggle on special teams. That would be something I would be working on if I was him. I think they got too many skill kids to not pay attention to special teams, Tim. That's just my opinion.
When you start, like you said, adding up kick after kick, and yards given away after yards given away. You start adding all that up, and it is huge. You know, I mean, you just look at one kick and you're like, oh, whatever. He didn't kick it 10 yards deeper, 20 yards deeper, but you kind of aggregate that over the course of a season and a game.
It doesn't take a whole lot of work from a practice schedule standpoint to incorporate it into your practice, but if your coach hasn't had the background or the exposure to the training, he's not going to emphasize it. It's often overlooked with smaller programs and smaller schools, but you can't come in here and not have special teams and play against a team like Lakeland.
Yep.
You'll get drummed.
So I would say that Zaire Davis, who just made that carry, and Coach Castle, their game plan is just with a running clock, let's take as much time off the clock, get some fresh jerseys in there. Mason Martin's still in there, but he's probably just going to be handing the ball off and just letting a few of those backup runners in to knock some time off the clock. It'd be nice to pick up 3-4 yards of carry just like that. 5 yards, first down, keep the clock moving. Again, number 35, Zaire Davis, the 10th grade running back. Nice to get him some reps.
6 yards and results in a Dreadnaughts first down.
This is where he'll just start giving everybody some looks.
FHS overhead doors.
Zaire looks like he's got a good push. He's got that power push that he's like money for 4 or 5 yards right up the middle. Can be valuable. He's back there in the lone setback again. Going to get another call. Just boom, pow.
He's a bruiser.
3 or 4 yards again.
Zaire Davis on the carry.
Tackled
by Jesse Powers.
Coach is making a great decision to leave Mason in here, because obviously we've got some depth at the quarterback position. And these are if things kind of play out and Shale Garnett comes out and ends up playing and splitting some time at quarterback or ultimately becomes the starter, these reps are going to be invaluable for Mason. So it's good he's keeping him in the game.
Malik Whitaker, Dre Keys, some new fresh faces in there. Oh, nice little sidestep at number 3, made a good tackle.
Big hit by a good athlete.
But see now, Coach Castle using Zaire Davis and Jakari Martin, a little bit more power just to get 4. That's perfect, exactly what they want to do. 3, 4, 5 yards of carry, take time off the clock. That's what they're doing right now.
He got his points before halftime.
Yeah.
And I know Coach. I mean, third, when it's a tight game, third quarter is our best quarter, okay? Remember that historically.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a tight game, we usually come out in the third quarter, and historically it's been our best quarter. But when the game's over at halftime, he likes to score as many points as possible up to halftime, and then, it's a running clock, and then, of course, the game's over at that point.
Flag, delay of game, Knots.
But how many strong third quarters have you seen whenever we were in tight games? Remember that?
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, what's going to happen? And when we come out and usually have our best quarter, that third quarter.
Now, as crazy as it is, I know Coach Castle's not trying to get delay of games, but he knows that the clock continues to run.
Oh, yeah.
And it pushes him
Call
back
him
and
over,
still
take
have
your
a
time.
take your time, a third down.
No need to rush.
No need to rush. Keep the defense
They've got no
off the
offense.
field.
They can't punt. There's no reason to worry about it.
Yeah. Just at the 8-minute mark here with this snap, Mason Martin dropped back to pass, looking to fire it down, makes a nice long throw to Reggie Kellum, and it's going to be intercepted, I believe, at the 15-yard line or so, 16-yard line.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just what that is nothing but a punt.
Mm-hmm.
But he's giving his receivers a little experience and getting them downfield. I'm impressed as to how Coach can get these kids lined up. On the line of scrimmage, the way that they are, even the backups. I mean, it's hard to put 4 or 5 receivers out there and for them to know where they belong and what they got to do.
Mm-hmm.
That just goes to show Coach's game preparedness. I mean, the way he runs his practice schedules.
So a mix. We've got some starters in there with a mix of new jerseys. Jameel Best, 10th grader, checking in, for example. Firing it over to number 6. One of their skilled people takes a pop there at the 22-yard line, but Will Mitchell, complete pass, about 8 yards. Second down and 3 officially.
Well, they got Will, the starting quarterback,
yeah, Will's
in
in
there
there
again.
just firing it around. He can run, too. We saw him with that now earlier, recognizing.
He's a big bruiser, 6'3".
Yeah. Offensive line actually got a little excited there. They're like, yeah, look at what we did. But they're for whatever reason, maybe not remember there's second and third teamers in there. But
Play gain 5 yards and results in a Pioneers first down.
They got a little scrappy bunch on defense right now.
Yeah. See how long they can keep it. 6-19. Fire over the middle. Ooh. That was a brave catch there going over the middle.
Complete to Kevon Franklin.
But you could see against, a team, a lesser defense, where Will Mitchell there can fire the ball.
Play gain 22 yards.
If he actually has time to throw it.
Pioneers
He can.
first down.
It's a big difference. When he can take 3 steps, look, set his feet, and then actually scramble. He didn't have that luxury in the first half.
Look at that throw.
He's going to fire it down, and it's going to be, our defensive back got too cute.
He did.
He dropped back and said, I'm going to come up and jump on this ball. The ball got there quicker than he thought, and the receiver grabbed it right out of the air.
It's almost like he backed up. He backed up from the ball instead of stepping in front of the offensive player.
Yeah.
Instead of stepping in front of the receiver, he just kind of took a couple steps back. Or
That
hesitated.
was a mistake, actually.
Yeah.
He had the coverage there, and he just.
You want to win that rebound.
Yep.
Play gain 37 yards.
37-yard gain, their biggest pass play of the night by far. They had that couple big runs early in the first half that resulted in no points, but that was their longest via the air.
Flag on the play.
Flag, it looks like going back.
False start.
Pioneer way, false start.
This is a classic example, Tim, what I was talking about the
you get a few backups in there that don't have a lot of playing experience, and then their starters are in there with the athletes they got. They're gonna move the ball.
So the only time the clock stops is the water break. At 5:01 is where they stopped it right now. We'll take a brief timeout and be back with you here to end the third quarter.
Attention to the banners surrounding Bryant Stadium.
Back here at Bryant Stadium. On the field cameraman getting you some close-up action shots. Will Mitchell drops back 3 yards, surveying the field. He may take off here. He's going to try to run this one, and he gets his knees taken out from him at the 10. Nice job of coming up by the Lakeland defender to challenge the quarterback.
32. He's got his hands
full.
Jamel Best. Listen, that's a big
he got
quarterback.
raked a little bit.
That's
He's like, that dude's big.
6'3", 220 pounds. He's coming at you like a freight train.
Jamel got him, though. He dove in there.
He did.
Quarterback scrambling, looking again, firing over the middle, and it's going to be,
boy.
nearly
That was
deflected and picked off. Good coverage. Late flag.
A little bit of hesitation on that. I don't know what the flag was about, but didn't look like it was pass interference to me, but I could be wrong.
It was very late.
It was late.
It's like he was deciding, should I? Yeah, sure. Need a little arm warm up. Oh. Didn't see that one.
Penalty is a personal foul against the Dreadnaughts.
Okay.
We did not see that from our vantage point.
Didn't see it. I don't know if there was some trash talking down there.
To the goal. It results in a Pioneer first down.
First down. Right at the 5, handoff. Fighting.
Yeah, you got a lot of beef there.
There's a big scrum pile right there.
Kevon Lee on the line of scrimmage.
That talented runner's fighting desperately to get some points on, but still not quite there yet.
Running clock makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Gain 2 yards. Brings up second down and goal.
The first half was pretty lengthy. Actually, a lot of pass plays, so the clock stopped a lot. A lot of penalties. Yeah. It was longer than usual, but this will make up for it. 3-minute mark here as Pioneers threatening first serious time tonight. Handoff. Just shy again. I think they're going to be.
That tailback seemed to. I don't think he wanted the ball. He was hesitant from the get-go.
Right, it looked like it.
Play gain 2 yards.
2 yards, so they're just
third down and goal from the 1 yard line.
1 yard away from their first pay dirt. Fred and I both told you about this. It's to be expected that he'd get some of those. I like that term, phantom points. As quarterback keeper, just pushing the pile. He's a big man, so all he has to do is take a few steps, and Will Mitchell punches it in for him. A little victory. I did it. Still hurts, when you know that they shouldn't have them. It's just one of those things. If you're a competitor at all, it's still hard to swallow, but we get it.
Well, and it's good. The kids are high-fiving over there on the sidelines, and at the end of the day, these are kids, and they want to have a little bit of success, right?
Yeah.
So that's good.
Hopefully they can say, we went into Bryant Stadium and scored. Yep, we did it. Extra point. Haven't seen one of these from them tonight, but not,
looked like
not
it went
horrible.
through.
Yeah, did sneak through the left side. As Pioneers.
They made it.
The point after is good.
Got it.
By Marcus Vaughn.
I was taking a lap around Bryant Stadium here. Just a beautiful evening, and taking in all the sights, and more importantly, walking off a little Chicken Louisiana.
The traditional lap.
Yeah, I had to do the traditional lap, and had an extra plate of Chicken Louisiana before I went, though. It's just too tempting sitting down there. So make sure it's still good the second time. Still that good. Oh.
This is where the coaches get to have some fun and give their backups a little bit of playing time. And this, you work hard and in the sun and the sweat, and the players. It's good.
Definitely,
good to
those
get
kids
them
are out
in.
there at practice too. They're suiting up the same way.
They want to play. They want to show coach what they can do. They know they're being watched on the game film, and there's a lot of trash talking. They know if they mess up, the guys are going to razz each other. So they want to make good plays.
And Coach Castle's looking, for those players that are stepping up. You hate to even talk injuries or whatever, but if you have those times when you need to fill a gap or fill space, you want to say, hey, he's got some experience and he got the job done.
Coach is telling him to move up because of the kick. Who knows? Usually when you tell him to move up, sometimes it's a miracle kick.
That
one's an out of bounds again. Pretty predictable.
Toe jam again. Off the right side.
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
That'll do it right there for
me to watch.
Yeah. If you just had him for a few minutes, right? You could probably correct some of that. That's interesting. I hadn't seen the toe kick in a while. It's been a while.
End of the third quarter. Good job.
And the American Collegiate Pioneers 7.
All right, so we said a couple, if we can hold them to a couple scores. So we're averaging 1 a quarter right now for them with the second half. We'll see. Our offense will get it and see how long they can
Dreadnought Marketplace
take time off the clock.
September 27th and October 25th. Get ready to purchase all your Dreadnought game day needs and items at the
I'm trying to think how our drive stopped the last time. Oh, it got picked off. So Mason Martin threw and it got intercepted.
Yep.
Otherwise,
that's what started the march.
Mm-hmm. Guess still working on some stuff. Otherwise, we would have just kept running it. Strong eye. See what Coach Castle does here. Hand off Reggie Kellen. Look at Reggie scoot. He's going to get outside. Reggie's
got
taking
some wheels.
Off.
Reggie's got some
on
wheels.
The juice. Reggie, hold in there. Oh, down about the 5-yard line. Number 21, Reggie Kellen he's got that capability. He's a really good runner. I mean,
we got him coming back. He's a junior.
He's a starter for a lot of teams.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Reggie's got some giddy up. He can run.
Reggie Kellum on the carry, gained 45 yards.
I was a little concerned. I didn't see it in the first couple games from him, but that was the Reggie I remember.
Dreadnoughts first down. That first down is brought to you by FHS Overhead Doors.
That'll pad the rushing yards a little bit for the Knots. Only problem is that only took about 30 seconds off the clock.
That's it.
But nice run. Can't hold them back. Can't say, hey, don't pick up yards.
Zaire Davis on the carry.
Zaire's good for like 6 every time, man. He's just money for 5,
Zaire's
6,
a
7 yards.
sophomore.
Yeah.
5'9", 185 pounds.
So you got him as some power, and you got Kellum as a little bit of speed there. That's a nice little combo coming up.
Well, that's a starting normal backfield anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then you got Mason, the 10th grader. You got a nice little posse there working.
That's it.
You always want to be healthy you can in those future years and using your talent, but also cultivating still. As an injured Pioneer player gets helped off the field here.
I think Coach is putting in a. I think we got a backup quarterback going in. Number 18.
Yep, he is.
Brett Nutting.
Brett. Another 10th grader.
See what happens.
Brett dropped the ball, unfortunately, on 2 or 3 consecutive handoffs the last time he got in there. Let's see if
see what happens.
Clean those up a little bit.
He looks the part. He's a good-looking kid.
See if he can't get that snap from under center. Nice exchange. Good handoff there. Oh, fumble, though.
Got the snap.
That wasn't Brett's fault, though.
No.
That was right in the bread basket.
It's a good-looking athlete.
Fumble on the play.
Got the ball back. Let's see what he can do.
Jakari Martin.
Maybe different than Jakari's used to. Sometimes that starting quarterback will place it a certain way, and then you get a quarterback that's different, and there you go. We are under running clock. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult for Fred and I to make up stuff that's not happening on the field or happening.
We're just watching the game.
They keep it a little more. We were watching like the rest of you.
That was a nice
handoff left side. Jakari Martin carrying some people.
Look at this guy. That was a big run.
That was a big run. Still not down.
Well, Brett's taking a good snap. Knows his steps.
Jakari never went down.
Getting the ball in the hands of the athletes.
People are booing, saying they wish they would have just let it go, but no, he was down there. Nice run, though.
Well,
fresh set of downs.
So far, this little offense has got some momentum.
Yeah, not bad.
They're keeping it alive, which is what they're supposed to be doing, getting some experience, keeping it alive. They got some good size on the field still.
Results in a Dreadnaughts first down. Brought to you by FHS.
C66.
I'm looking at, we got a tight end there, Keenis Thompson, number 10, tight end, big size kid. Oh, I think we're going to make it.
Bang, look at that. Nice pinball action, touchdown, Dreadnaughts.
I think we're in.
That's a beautiful little play there. Zaire Davis, I believe it looked like his frame anyways. He's a load, man. He's got kind of that low center of gravity, just pounds people.
He is. I'm noticing they got that cannon in different. I thought I saw the cannon down here.
Right.
And then now they got the cannon on the north end of the field. Are they moving it down depending on where we're going to score? Probably.
Look at that. Zaire's got a powerful little frame on him.
Yeah, we got another kid down for the Pioneers.
Well, you kind of called it. They'd start wearing out at the end of the game and get beat up a little bit.
Yeah, they can't afford any injuries, truthfully. I mean, but they're already thin enough. Boy, I can't say enough about the halftime interview with Isaac and Casey. They're two great guys. I hope that it ran long enough to where, the on air time that the fans were able to hear both of them, because they two quality young men that were immensely successful on the field and also in the classroom, by the way, and now are wonderful husbands and fathers and working hard in the community, and they get back and they're good guys. And I'm hoping that the whole interview was aired and recorded so that they can see it.
I heard one of them say, "Now it's got to head out. Time to go be a dad."
That's it.
That's it. Got the priorities.
Well, Casey's daughter is an anchorette.
Oh, and, I think he was pointing to her.
He was videoing there and pointing to her. So, and Isaac has a cousin on the field, and so there's a lot of Dreadnought tradition, which is cool.
Oh, high snap. They get it down, but Matthew kicks a swibber off the right side. No good. It's been a struggle now. We've had one good one, but
they'll have it. They'll have some stuff to work on.
Yeah, boy, we looked so solid the first few games.
It looks like there was a different holder that time.
Maybe.
Recap is brought to you by Southern Homes.
But Lakeland will get that taken care of.
The Dreadnought scoring drive.
It's obvious that the kicker can kick. There's no doubt about it. But you there has to be a sync, some coordination between the holder, the snapper, the kicker. That chemistry's got to be right, or it won't work. You can have the best kicker in the world, but if you don't have that chemistry right, you're going to miss some kicks. It's not going to be consistent.
But it's smart to have those backups getting experience like that. If someone goes down or something changes, you got to have someone to put in there, and it's better that they have at least, even if I'd rather have them fail now up 55-7 than in a tight one.
I was blessed to have a great holder. Travis Galloway was the snapper. He threw it back there like a bullet.
Yeah, he was.
And Brad Smith was the holder, and Brad was 6'4", had big long arms, and he could catch that ball, put it down there, backup quarterback, put it down there anytime.
Travis was so good. Then they brought him to Auburn to do snapping. I think he
was a snapper for Auburn, and a great football player.
Yep. Ball fell. I wanted to say a quick hello and shout out to Charlie Hall up in Michigan, who's listening to us. I think I saw one of his relatives down there, and he said Charlie may be listening to you, so give him a quick shout out. So Charlie, if you're there, thanks for listening in and being a part of the Dreadnought webcast.
So a lot of shout outs at halftime. It was fun.
Oh, good. That's cool. That's what it's for. Should be fun. Checks up there at the 10-yard line. Number 11 scoops it up and heads off.
This kid's got some wheels.
He's got tons of room.
He's got some wheels. I think he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know if old Matthew's going to catch up with him there.
Yep.
That wasn't even close.
Nope. I knew it when he got it. It was too big of a seam.
A huge gap.
It was too big of a seam. I knew he was gone.
Some of the starters are down here kind of laughing and not laughing.
Oh, there's some boys that are going to get razzed.
Yeah.
There's some guys on the field that are going to get made fun of when during the film sessions, but that's okay. That's part of growing up.
Uh-huh. They're like, oh, boy, that was a big hole.
I remember toward the end of my sophomore year, I had a chance for an interception for a touchdown. It was wide open. I was playing corner, and I just white knuckled the ball and dropped it. I mean, it was like right there. The quarterback threw it right at me, and of course, on game film that following Monday. Oh man,
you got it.
I didn't hear the end of it.
Yeah, that's what friends are for, right?
I was looking at the end zone. I wasn't looking at the ball. I was thinking, oh man, I'm going to score. Dropped it.
Well, they're going to see if they're trying for two or not here, and then
Coach
can run this thing out hopefully with 5 minutes
That's why you're a DB, Fred.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if you could catch it, you'd be a receiver.
It's not. That's true. A lot of shining moments tonight, and it again turned out to be a pretty nice evening with a cool breeze.
I'm surprised the rain let up. I mean, at first it was looking pretty grim.
Yeah. That sea breeze kind of caught right in the middle of us for that couple hours and just stuck there, and then slowly moved back off to the west, and turned out to be nice. Going for 2 points here. Quarterback runs in, and he's still got some room.
I don't know. Does he got the legs? I don't think he does. Oh, my goodness.
Good tackle. Way to go, guys.
He got taken down pretty hard, too.
That hurt. Those kind of hurt when you get tackled like that from behind.
Help me up, guys. Help me up.
Yeah, thanks. Everything just kind of collapses on you. You just the mercy of the gravity.
Nicholas Caldwell's kickoff return touchdown brings the score to the Lakeland Dreadnaughts 55 and the American Collegiate Pioneers 13.
Good little stop there, but was aided by the miscommunication between the quarterback and the receiver.
For your constant and dedicated support of Dreadnought football.
I think we'll be able to run this one out, Fred, now with the running clock, hopefully on this position.
Please contact Steve Madden or a member of our sponsorship team.
Yeah, there's still room on the Jumbotron. They were just announcing Steve Madden has done such a fine job of rounding out. If someone would like to join the family and be a sponsor, we'd love to have you up there. You can get a hold of Steve Madden and find out what the options are for getting you up on the Jumbotron.
We appreciate you taking the time to support our student athletes. The stadium lights will begin to shut off shortly after the game is over.
Kids are excited. They're putting their face in the camera right now. I love it.
They're like, we got a long weekend coming.
They're excited.
Time off.
They don't have to go to school. They don't have to worry about hurricane preparedness. That's what Mom and Dad are doing. They're going to get bottled water, some food.
Can they practice?
Checking the generator to make sure that they.
Coach Castle have them out there on Tuesday.
Oh yeah,
hurricane's still 2 hours away.
Coach will be saying, I don't care about no hurricane. We got to practice.
That's it. The ball will just fly a little differently. It'll fly a little differently in the wind.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I know it. He'd like to.
If it's a Category 3, he's practicing.
Now look at that
may
kick.
get his attention.
Where was that? That was a beautiful kick.
That was a kick. Oh my goodness, look at this.
Oh, nice tackle. That was a beautiful tackle right at the knees, number 22. for the Pioneers. Ferry Reed probably saved a couple points there.
Obviously, we're joking, but wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah, right.
Coach Castle, everybody's hunkered down and inside their houses, and he's got the football team out in a Category 3 Hurricane running reps, spreading plays.
There's that guy that did that great impression of Castle back several years ago. That'd be funny if someone did that and they had a couple guys dressed in uniform, and then the wind just blowing like that. Get out, come on!
Whole team is out there running plays. He's out there blowing the whistle, hair blowing around everywhere.
That'd be great.
That's crazy.
Punt, they kick it to punt and it goes backwards like 30 yards.
Yep.
Oh, there's Horse getting cranked up just.
Yeah, you got a big day tomorrow, Coach. Every day's a big day.
Every day's big. Under 2 minutes now. They're just taking their sweet old time. Content with the old 55-13 score. Nice handoff. 35, that's Zaire Davis again. I like Zaire, man. He's just a 4 or 5 yard pounder. I don't think he's gained less than 4 yards. It's either been 4, 5, or 6 every time.
Is that how much time is left on the clock, Tim?
Yeah, you might.
Folks, Dreadnought fans, and fine tradition, I have to stick to it.
He can't be here when the clock hits zeros.
I cannot be here till the end because that means something bad will happen.
All right, Fred Lopez.
All right, you got it.
I'll finish you out
Well, listen,
here.
it is my pleasure.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy doing this. I love reporting. I love calling these games. It's a great privilege.
It's not work with you guys at all. It's a lot of fun.
Nope. Well, Dreadnought fans, hey, good night. Be safe. Make sure that you prepare well, and don't take this storm lightly.
Amen.
God bless. Bye-bye.
There goes Fred. Off to Never Never. He smiled. He did it with under a minute left. He's out. It's like a phantom, like a ghost. We appreciate him so much, and again, just a lot of fun to do it with friends and people that all love Dreadnought football, and we're able to brag, tell stories, reminisce, and just enjoy all that is Lakeland High School football here. We're at 30 seconds, maybe one more play to go. We send number 18 in for the final play of the game, Brett Nutting.
Thank you for your cooperation.
It's either going to be a kneel down or handoff, and we'll be done. Brett under center. Good snap, handoff, and nice tackle there at the 36-yard line with 10 seconds left. That'll do her. So just like kind of Fred and I were saying that we thought that over the course of 2 quarters, even though the running clock was going to be there, that the Pioneers would pick up a couple touchdowns, and they did. But the Dreadnoughts own this one here, their first regular season home game. They're doing backflips, literally, as Bowman doing a backflip. He's got some height on that thing, too. Doing some Fortnite dances to go with it. And they will shake each other's hands. So the American Collegiate Academy Pioneers coming to Bryant Stadium with a tall order and at least put a few points on the board. Yeah. Thank you. Michael Barrett just gave me the go-ahead to wrap it up quick because there's not a whole lot to say in this one. We do, though, want to just convey, as Fred said, we hope everyone just stays safe. A lot of uncertainty still left, but we'll be praying that everyone just enjoys that time again with family and loved ones and help each other if there is a need for that. And we'll look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks. We're again away at George Jenkins next week, so we won't have a webcast. But we'll be joining you in a few weeks to pick up where we left off here, and hopefully the Dreadnoughts continue the W's in this 2019 campaign. So for Fred Lopez, Tim Conti, Michael Barrett, and crew, the Dreadnoughts go away 55-13 in the second regular season, 2-0, and we look forward to seeing you all in a few weeks. So God bless, and good night, everybody.